What's up? You're off in God's country with your boy Reid
and Dan is born.
Also known as the Brothers Hunt, where we take a weekly drive to the intersection of country music and the great outdoors.
I don't know what you're doing.
Two things that go together, like Post Malone and possibly being an alien.
Yeah, or a whole lot of hard work and people saying, must be nice.
Mm-hmm. Must be nice.
Must be nice. Must be nice, Bloodline.
And also two things that go together, like
Hit it, Ray.
Tacovas and this podcast.
Hit it, Ray's a nice name.
That's
for him
another
too.
one. Come on now.
Let's get it.
Tacova, sponsoring the show now, baby. Tacova, sponsoring the show now, baby.
Look good with khakis or your jeans when they're colored up and blue.
Anywhere worth going is worth going in good boots. Come on, Tacova, sponsoring the show now, baby. Tacova, sponsoring the show now, baby. Tacova, sponsoring the show now, baby. Tacova,
Make them dance. Fade it out, Ray. Fade it out, Ray. Fade it out, Ray.
Zoom in on that, Ray.
He can't. He's not even back there.
Oh. Ray, give us a dog bark.
God, dude.
Baby crying. Close.
It's the same one.
Close.
It's just mixed.
We gotta get you some more back there. Ray.
Oh, we gotta get something programmed.
Hey man, Tacovas, they feel great. The show now, baby.
Yeah, just kidding.
May have some. I don't know what the word is. Some Lizzies might be coming our way. Some Lizzie skinnies, dude.
Some lesbians?
Some lesbians. Lizzie skinnies. I don't know if we can put that in there.
Sure we can.
Lizzie's coming our way, dude. Tacovas. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably the most comfortable boot I own right now.
Dude, I got the double E, the old extra wide.
Oh
guys.
yeah,
My guys are just comfortable.
yeah.
They're just hanging out in there, no stress.
Mine was the D, and I didn't know if these were gonna stretch or anything, but they kind of like conform to my foot. And
It's a weird thing,
they
isn't
feel
it?
amazing.
I was feeling the same thing. It's kind of like it's a nice little cushion, like you're just walking in a pillow.
Hey, you know what they say?
What they say?
Can't have a good time in a pair of bad boots.
It's true. You
And
can't.
I'm having a great time today
In a pair of good boots.
in a pair of really good boots.
Same, man.
Appreciate y'all, Tacovas.
Yep. I was
Man,
very excited when these guys came in.
You said that last time,
You
dude.
do it every time.
Muscadine Bloodline, Charlie and Gary, killers.
Man, it's just fun to sit with someone who earned it. And I'm not saying that our other guests didn't. They clearly have. But speaking to them as well, our other guests, it's fun to sit in a room with guys that just plowed and pushed and didn't.
And the town knows it. Everybody knows it.
Absolutely. And are rooting for them based upon that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm rooting. I don't have a single song on this record. Could care less. I'm rooting for these guys because I know how hard they work and I know how hard it is to get anything going in this town.
Their single 1090 was the most added at country radio. It just broke the top 50.
Smoking. Doing great.
Great song. Might give you a little snippet of that in the podcast. Gary's just about killed a turkey in literally every state in the United States.
Yeah, but he's progressed. And I remember seeing him get real hot about turkey hunting and just wanting to kill stuff all the time. And
It's changing.
It's changing on him. Even today when you asked him that question, he just was like, you know what, man?
If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't.
I love that answer.
Yeah. And he's having a baby here pretty soon, so he's trying to get it in while he can. Just a great episode, great hang. You'll really enjoy it, so make sure you listen to the whole thing.
Proud of those boys.
Make sure that you go and follow us on TikTok. Kind of viral every week.
Pretty viral these weeks.
Follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, and leave us a 5-star rating. Roast us, and you may get shouted out on this podcast. Yo, D!
Yo.
Hit me with that roast, big dog.
Tim C. from TN. Hardin County Escapees is the name of this.
Okay.
Tim C. Do we know any Tim C's? Who could that be?
Tim Curry? Is there a Tim Curry?
That's Tim C. Yep.
Could be Tim C.
But sending good vibes from Michigan?
Mm.
The guys don't hear it, but we actually applaud the end of the show because it's over. Two guys once compared smash burgers to McDonald's and referred to their middle school careers on camera. That's funny. Middle school careers.
Yeah, that's funny.
But hey, I think I have their dad to thank for years of great sermons and baptism, so they can't be all that bad. Love the show, guys. Congrats on all you guys have achieved. May the best days be yet to come. Sending good vibes from Michigan. Take care. 5 stars. The second one is curing car sickness.
We're going to, okay.
Yeah, R Jinx 20. The fact that Dan cured his most car sick moment with a pile of barbecue at the top of a mountain in North Carolina is all inspiring. These kind of life lessons are invaluable to the American people. You may only find a lesson in 1 out of 10 episodes. Just hang in there. You'll get some solid country music knowledge in the process. Great. With no nice guys.
That's a good. Yeah, that's a
I
good
like
one.
a no nice guys.
That's a good one.
No LC references. Proud of that.
Yep.
You guys are stepping it up. It's getting better.
That's right. We're our own entity
Gotta
around
be Tim
here
Curry.
in God's country.
Got to be Tim Curry.
Thank y'all for hanging out. We love you.
Yep.
Enjoy Muscadine Bloodline. Tacoma sponsoring the show now, baby. Ray, give me Thunderstrike.
You just put the.
Give me a
He
Thunderstrike.
faded it out too. Not even close.
We're working on it.
Just like we like it.
Peace.
See you think.
Oh, we're already rolling, dude.
Oh,
I'm gonna unplug this clock. Keep going. We're rolling.
no, I saw y'all were playing somewhere like at a booth for MeatEater or something, and that was like the first picture I saw, and I was like, Dan had a hat on, that short hair, and I was like,
Look at this guy, dude.
This guy.
What a stud.
I had to count. Are you getting tired of everybody telling me how handsome I look around you?
No, because I
Reid's
still know.
always been handsome.
Reid's always just been handsome.
You are hot now. I stay hot. I've been hot.
I
dude.
don't know,
He
man.
stays
I stay
handsome,
hot.
like, yeah.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I tell everybody I went from like cool music guy with long hair to like IT tech dad nerd like overnight, and I was like, I gotta get this together, you know. So I do hate the gym still. I hate it every day. Every
Yeah,
day I
fair.
go, I hate. I don't understand people that are like, oh, I can't wait to go.
But
to
it's
the gym."
helpful, you know?
I mean, I guess, yeah, my shirt's fit. You know,
Yeah,
finally,
that is nice,
That helps.
yeah.
And I mean, for me, it's just like trying to stay alive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and feel better,
absolutely,
dude.
dude.
Yeah,
Y'all gym guys? Y'all working
Gary's
out
a
every
big
day?
gym guy.
Gary's
I
big
go
gym.
through phases, yeah.
I wouldn't say like I'm not like in there, you know, flexing in the mirror or
yeah.
anything, but it's just like it's just
Content,
been a part.
content gym
Yeah,
guy?
it's been a part of like just like my daily routine for a while. I mean, I probably go 5 days a week.
Oh, yeah. He's
Easy.
Really?
militant. Yeah.
Early morning, late.
When I can get it in. This,
Yeah.
you know, this schedule, it's like
For sure.
if I can find an hour and a half
you
window.
better enjoy that because that's about to be over.
Oh, it's over. Yeah, I know.
Bro, get that turkey hunting in this year,
Get
too.
it all in.
Oh
dude.
yeah, I always just take. Well, I lose like 20 pounds every turkey season
Yeah, I
because just
feel
all
that.
the walking or whatever,
Feel
and
that.
hardly eating that kind of stuff.
You too, Dan, right?
Get ready to gain it.
Yeah,
Congrats on that. You about to have a baby, right?
I am.
Yeah, congrats
Yeah, that's
on
the
that,
whole
dude.
point.
Yeah.
That
I don't know where I was like. It could be both. Yeah. No.
Hey,
Do
we
it,
got
do it,
country
do it.
music duo, turkey hunting, hailing from South Alabama, is Mobilians, right?
Yeah.
Come on now. Big Fish Catching most recently opened for Post Malone and the Stadium Tour, joining Lainey out on her 2025 tour. Recently had the most added song to country radio, 1090. We've got Muscadine Bloodline
Oh,
out in
man.
God's
I was
country.
gonna say,
podcast.
what else?
I was about to say, what else
Keep
you
going.
got,
Keep
brother?
going.
L and GCP.
Come on,
That's what I'm
man.
talking about.
Thank y'all, man. Thanks
Dude,
for
that's
having me.
awesome.
Is this a little more professional than the last time you were on a podcast with us?
Oh yeah, dude. We were at the Sony. We were at
Sony,
the
room
Firehouse.
2.
We were in.
I mean, it was still good.
yeah, it's Firehouse, right? Or is
Yeah.
that what y'all call
Fire
it?
Hall.
Fire Hall. That's what.
Firehouse Subs. What you
Yeah,
think about?
that's what I was thinking of. I'm getting hungry.
I remember
But,
us talking a lot about aliens.
that. And I remember,
Did we go off on aliens?
I mean, for like an hour. We would just go back then. We would go for hours.
I-
Yeah, it's a little.
Like, what's this episode about?
I remember too. I kept bringing up like CW, my buddy CW, and you're like, who's this guy?
The
He does-
seafood guy.
Yeah, he lives. He like lives 7 different lives. Yeah, but I just remember that.
Are you still buddies with him?
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. You still do seafood?
Oh, he's still.
yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, he's still the guy.
Do y'all know the Peavies? Have we talked about this?
Dude, we've never officially met. Like
Any of
but
them down there?
everyone like it's so many people in Mobile are like, dude, you got to get up with Jake. Like he's like the coolest dude ever. Like he loves country music.
We
But
got to make that
we've
happen.
never crossed paths.
Yeah, they've
He's
got that
also
Dolphins.
kinda-
They've got that studio, Dolphin Street Sound.
Yeah, we've
right
been
there.
by and like
through.
cool.
He
you-
wasn't there.
I got you.
He's never. I don't think he's ever there right now. He's doing all that stuff with the MLB network.
That place is killer though. Like,
Oh, it's killer.
so
that whole
cool.
block, that whole strip is a Moe's is still right there. I'm guessing. Yeah, it's awesome.
Man, I love Moe's wings, dude.
Yeah.
They got good
Those smoked wings,
Yeah.
buddy.
Gas.
It's funny. He's got property up close to G's Bend, close to where my parents
That's
are
where
from.
yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like
Catherine.
get close to it,
Yeah.
right there, and it's in Wilcox County. But everyone in the area like says where they live based on where Peavy's at, right? So it's like that big
That's how you know
block
he's got
over
a big
there.
old spot.
Yeah. So that big block over there, we're about 2 miles south.
Dude, we were headed down there, and I don't know if you're talking about the same property, but he sold this big property, but it was 5,000 acres, and he had a replica like softball field of the big green monster and all that. And,
Oh, that's cool.
and like a saloon style buildings and all this stuff. It was awesome. But we were headed down there one time, and we ran out of gas.
No, had a flat.
No, we ran out of gas.
One time we had a flat tire, and the other time we ran out of gas.
Yeah, and I'm talking about like it's 4 hours, 4.5 hours to get down there, something like that.
To
here?
Yeah.
to Catherine, probably
Probably like
4 or
5,
5.
4 or
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
So it's late. I mean, like we were headed down to a guys weekend he used to have with all his buddies and a bunch of baseball players and stuff, and we ran out of gas probably 10 minutes down, almost
this is
there
so
in the middle of
sketch.
nowhere, dude. Zero service, nothing, and we had to sit there. We were trying to push. We tried to push your Jeep up that hill to get it momentum to try to get as close as we possibly could. We were freaking out. And ended up, I had to hitchhike a ride from some random cat. And the same thing, like I got in and he was like, "Where you trying to go, man?" And I was like, "Man, he was like, the baseball player's house." And I was like, "Yes." He's like, "All right, hop in."
That's
Dude,
hilarious.
I was
literally-
terrified, dude.
It was because the setup was like 1:30 in the morning. You know how? I mean, there ain't a street light. within
ain't nothing
6
out there.
There's nothing out there. Nothing. And a car came up, and Reid was like, they were talking it out or whatever, and I just like slipped him my pistol, and he just rode with my pistol in his pocket, like
Legit
this
pointed at the
whole
guy,
way.
like, "Hey, man."
The guy didn't even know.
Don't kill me.
That's right.
But wasn't there like some mildly sketch conversation that went down a little bit?
Yeah, I don't remember it.
I can't remember.
I do
what it
remember the
was.
tire going. Remember, and it's sand, right? So it's not like hard pan. It's that sand off the shoulder of the road. And we kept on trying to jack your truck up, and it kept on falling off
Mega
the jack.
dangerous.
God, terrible.
Yeah, I'm glad we.
Anyways,
met.
never met Peavy. So
Good dude.
Heard
You
great
should.
stuff about him.
Yeah.
Great
You
stuff.
need to.
He's a legend from
Yeah,
neck
he
of the
is.
woods.
Y'all say y'all just got off the road?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where were you at?
Last weekend we were in Kansas City and Omaha.
Are y'all bussing? Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
good-
we've
good
been
for you.
bussing for a few years now. So
Nice.
it's great.
Heck yeah.
Much cooler than the Sprinter.
Are y'all playing? How many shows a weekend y'all playing?
Just 2.
Just 2.
You back
Yeah,
to the
dude.
house.
We just play 50 shows a year now. Like we've like had this like little like let's just keep our like mentals intact, Like
Come on.
Sure.
because we came from the days of doing 150 and
Yeah.
in a van like 3 or 4 days a week, and you're just like
It's kind
what
of
am I doing?
Yeah.
Like this is crazy.
Our kind of thing is like it's how to say it. It's not too much to where we're like, man, we're killing ourselves, and it's not too less to be like, dang, I wish we were playing
Wish we
more.
were, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kind of
It's
like
a
right
nice
there.
medium. Yeah.
It's like get up with the boys for a couple nights and
Back home.
get back home.
and we just do Friday, Saturday. Like it's like we
Roll
like
in,
those are the
set
best
up,
nights
yeah.
anyway. Like
Yeah,
why
for
go on
sure.
a Thursday when it's not going to
No
be as
doubt.
good? Like just do
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday.
y'all doing same spot? Y'all selling out same venue both nights? Or are you doing different places?
Like every now and then we'll do 2 nights, but
Yeah.
like for the most part, we'll just roll
Rolling
on
on
and
to somewhere
It's
else.
mostly like 1,500 to 2,500 room cat
I've seen
rooms.
some clips of y'all shows, man. It's
cool,
It's
man.
rowdy. It's
No, it's
fun.
been great, man. We've
It's
been
come a long
blessed.
way.
So,
Yeah,
10 years in.
It's
so
fun.
Is
That's
that how long
awesome.
y'all are in?
Yeah, 10 years.
started 15.
Crazy, dude.
We feel like we just started.
Yeah, I feel like a baby still. I feel like a baby.
You tired of it? Honestly.
No, honestly, no.
Not a piece of it. You're not tired of any of it.
I think we got a good balance.
Yeah,
Like we got a good home
important,
life,
isn't it?
and we kind of know our threshold of like. I don't know. Maybe it's getting to that age. I feel like once we got in our 30s, it was kind of like, hey, this is what I'm willing to give, like mentally
what I
to
don't
this
wanna do.
time.
Yeah.
And like
I love
after that, it's like if there's more to give on certain things, our manager Adam can approach us about if it's worth doing. And
Yeah.
but it's honestly just kind of been nice to where it's like, hey, Charlie and I enjoy what we're doing. I'd rather do what we're doing right now for 15 years instead of like strike while the iron's hot and do go
Crazy.
go for it and then hate ourselves and then hate each other.
Sure,
you know?
man.
And
It
it
sounds-
happens all the time, too, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
this
100%.
sounds like a PR answer, but it's like the truth. Like, you know, like it sounds like just like let's just give them the good answer. Like, it's like, man, it's like life's good. Like the only thing, like if you really want a grievance, it's like social media kind of pisses me off. That's about it though. You know?
It's a great segment into. I almost forgot it.
But that's
too.
just the older you get. The older you get.
Tell
you
me
know?
about it,
This is
dude.
the same thing we did last time. We just started riffing and never stuck to the plan last time. I remember before I knew it, we were talking about aliens.
And CW and
Yeah,
aliens.
Whoever
yeah.
CW is.
You don't need an outline.
What you mad at? Just tell us what it is. What you mad at? Is it your in-laws' kids? Might be your boss man or your neighbor's cat. Just tell us what you mad at.
Oh, this is great.
You know, a little thing.
I love it.
Just a little.
This little thing.
We don't do
Wrote
it for a
that this
living or
morning.
anything.
Pretty good.
What you mad at, D? You mad at anything? Let me go first. Mine's petty. I'm mad at my trolling motor cable.
Oh, what happened?
It broke again.
You mean my trolling motor that's on my boat? That's your boat and trolling motor now?
You say it's your boat, but that thing's been behind my house. How many times you fished in it in the last 4 years?
40?
Okay, I'm 400, so it's probably my boat now.
I don't know. I don't think that's.
But
how it works.
I was using just regular ropes, and they kept on ripping. So I like bit the bullet and bought a really nice like threaded wire cable for trolling, and it was like lifetime warranty, which I should probably send it in because I was pulling it the other day. I was pulling it up, and I went to pull it, and the handle broke, and I just fell straight
Well,
back. Like, boom, in a
kinda
John boat.
I don't know. I was there. You're kind of jerky about like life. Like you kind of. There's not much finesse. It's just kind of a force guy. You know what I mean?
I got places to be
Not
things
a
to do,
feel
dude.
guy. A feel guy.
Yeah, not. Yeah.
I'm a feel guy on the course. I got to be on the
I
field
feel
guy on
you.
the
I
course.
feel that, dude.
But everything else
Just
is.
give us a minute.
But when I'm fishing, man,
5 minutes in without talking.
when
about
I'm fishing, like all I'm thinking about is getting to the spot. Like I'm thinking about that bass wanting to bite right now.
Speaking of bass wanting to buy right now, our dad caught a
Caught a 10 yesterday.
We're not even
Yeah.
ask.
South.
Yeah,
Yeah.
South.
Yeah,
10?
south.
We'll
10.
We'll tell you. We'll tell you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I
I've
was
never
in my-
seen a 10 in person.
I was in
Me
my.
neither.
I hadn't
I
either.
haven't either.
I was in my co-ride and he called me and I declined him and immediately called me right back, like double quick call.
And you were like, oh, something's
I was
wrong.
like,
He's
dang, something's
important or
something's going
something
on.
scary.
He's trying to talk.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey man, what's up? He's like, where are you? And I was like, I'm in Nashville. What do you mean? You know I'm riding. He was like, you should see this fish I just caught. And I was like, FaceTime me. And I was like, fellas, sorry. Y'all gonna have to work on this course by yourselves.
Oh my gosh.
And so he
I'm sorry.
FaceTimed me, and sure enough, man, this thing's probably got 2 pounds worth of eggs in it, dude. I mean, look at the gut on that thing.
Yesterday.
Oh yeah, dude, look at the drag.
I mean, you
I've
can
never
really.
You know what he
held
caught it? You know what he caught it on?
Good God.
A 6-pound crappie
You
rig.
could put your head in his mouth.
Yeah, dude. I'll tell you what's crazy to me is him.
That's insane.
You know, he's holding the tail back there, and the girth on that tail. I mean, he ain't even got his hand.
Yeah, I just noticed that. Like it's like there's like still like 4 inches, but
Yeah,
that's
it's
just
like
on the
holding-
tail.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how I was.
It looks like
"Ooh."
a fish you'd catch down in like Florida or something,
real.
like Okeechobee or something.
I completely agree with that.
That
gut.
is a pre-spawn lunker.
He took some more, but they're terrible.
But
Yeah,
he
I
caught it.
know.
He was crappie
Like
fishing.
this, like
Caught
he's
it.
got him. He's too big for the live well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn.
I've never caught a bass bigger than like 4 pounds. I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine like
That's a
pulling up a
respectable
10
bass.
pounder.
It's a different
Yeah, no,
fish,
that
man.
4 pounders. Great.
Yeah.
That's a
10
great
pounder
fish.
is a different fish.
I mean, that's a
bro.
kicker in some
I'm happy
tournaments
if
for
it's
sure.
2 pounds. I'm like,
Yeah.
awesome. I'll catch those all
Same.
day.
But he caught it. He said he was like, I felt like I was like, like wicked tuna. He's like tuna fishing. He's, I mean, he had to fight that thing forever. So
Felt like I had a
So you
shark
caught it on
on
a. You said it on a 6-pound crop.
6-pound test
crappie
crappie rig. Yeah, with a float.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
When he poked in that, he didn't know what he hit.
No.
Well, he didn't. He knew he didn't have a crappie.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I feel like my watch mad at is one of 2 things every time. It's either traffic or my wife. So I'm going to keep the trend going. And it's going to be about my wife today.
Okay.
So I love my wife, dude. Love my wife so much. So blessed.
I
happy
can't wait
have
to
her.
hear
But
this.
you know, when you've been
He
with
says
somebody-
this every week, dude.
But you know when you've been with somebody for so long, there's just those things that just like So I've noticed.
We've got those things too, though. Like she's probably got some about you. But.
For sure.
Yeah, she just doesn't have a platform.
Yeah, but
to bitch
she's
about
not
me.
here right now.
Exactly.
You should have a podcast that drops every week.
Exactly, dude.
Sponsored by Tacova.
Thanks for coming on board. She has. We've all had this like croupy. Everybody's had this like croupy thing lately.
Groupie.
But I've noticed if she ever gets it and her voice changes, like right now her voice is kind of scratchy. She takes on a new persona
Oh.
of like there's a little more attitude. Just because
Maybe it's not because she feels bad. It's because she has a new scratchy voice.
it's because she has a gangster mob voice.
Okay.
I've noticed that like okay, here's a prime example.
Have you told her this, or is this going to be the first time
brand
she's...
new. It's brand new. She's gonna be mad at me.
She a fan of the
next
show?
week or whenever this comes out. Yeah, she listens to every episode just to see how much trash talk about her. So
She'll send us texts like critiquing, like, y'all need to let your guests talk more, which we probably should.
true. Yeah, it's actually really good information.
It's actually great.
It's actually coming into play right now.
So I noticed this morning. It's like,
Yeah, what's this segment called?
What you man?
Are we still talking about the PVs?
Yeah.
Y'all still talking about the PVs?
CW.
He's gonna love that.
So we this morning, it was you have to leave our house at 7:32 to get Liza, my 5-year-old, to school on time. So it's like 7:20, and I'm like, I'm finna whoop some eggs up. I got to eat some eggs. You know what I mean? Because if I don't, then I'll eat something bad and I'll hit Chick-fil-A, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, she's like, eggs? Or she's like, eggs, 7:20. I'm like,
Out the gate.
okay. What's up? What's a good gangster's name? What's the
Al Capone.
Pacino? Yeah, what's
Yeah.
up, Pacino?
Oh, yeah.
Man, freaking. She's like, eggs, 7:20. I'm like, yeah, I got time, Well, you gotta leave at 7:32. I'm like, yeah, I do. I know I gotta leave at 7:32. And I think in regular voice, Cheyenne, she'd have been like, okay, you gotta pop out the door at 7:30 in order to be there.
Just keep that in mind.
But it's a different attitude because the voice, it's like a little more confrontational. So I'm mad. I'm not really mad at that. I just maybe noticed it.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's a good way to like back off. Like
It is
Totally,
Take the foot off
totally.
the gas.
Bring it home.
You
Bring
guys
it
Yeah,
mad
that's
at
right,
anything?
that's right.
Anything you can be, or glad. You can be glad at something.
I mean, I was joking when we first got in here. I wish Auburn's football team was good.
Auburn's football team.
That's
Not
been-
good at all.
No, we stink.
Mississippi State's real bad too. We
Yeah,
stink.
it's a thing of the past.
Like it's weird because like on paper we shouldn't be that bad.
Oh,
but,
we should. We
Yeah.
should just be bad.
I
And
think the last like 10 years we've sucked.
Basketball team's good.
Yeah, that's been fun.
down the stretch though.
It's been a lot of fun, but we lose the big ones, so it doesn't matter. Like
We lost in overtime.
We
to
just lost
Bama.
2 in a row, like right in the season on a high note.
Yeah, perfect.
I mean, that's what
After we
Absolutely.
clinched,
That's the
SEC.
best way to like get the momentum
That's the
going.
way to do it. Lose a couple
for the
right before the
tournament.
SEC tournament this weekend. Right
Perfect.
now, today, actually.
And we're such
today?
like I'm
Yeah,
such like
starting
a
with today.
romantic about Auburn sports for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Is that like I'm like we're like telling ourselves like this is actually the perfect time to lose. Like, dude, it's
If we
gonna
were
it's gonna
gonna
fire
lose.
them up, dude.
That's right.
Like
Take
to lose
a
when it
rest,
doesn't
a couple
matter.
rest for a week.
Yeah, the
Take a
SEC
week
tournament.
off
Yeah.
before the tournament.
Oh yeah, we'll lose to we lost to Yale, like the number 16 seed last year in the tournament. It was nice. It was
sick.
fun.
Dude, that's awesome.
Fun game to watch.
It's great.
Yeah.
Have a
Yeah.
disappointing team.
What I'm mad at, I'll go wife route, but a different thing.
Okay.
My wife left for a baby shower my mom threw for like last Wednesday. So she hasn't been home. And I'm not used to like coming home off the road and like my wife not being here.
It's a weird feeling.
And so like, and when she ain't in the bed, I can't sleep good.
Feel that.
And
Feel
so,
that.
and so it's like for the last, 4 nights have been just like you stay up till
You're like 4 o'clock in the morning,
2
like-
or 3 in the morning. I'm like, I got this podcast early. I got an hour drive into town. Just go to sleep. Ate some like real bad gas station chicken yesterday.
Yes,
and
then you're
it
like, I'm
just-
gonna order pizza.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
It was just
yeah.
like,
Dang,
what am I
gas sta-
doing with my life?
That is
you
the
know?
truth.
So, but I'm going out, heading out to Mississippi right after this to. So I'll get to
weekend.
see her opening weekend. We'll get together. Weather's gonna be terrible, but yeah. So I was mad at like I wish my wife was here because she gives me a taste of my own medicine. I'm gone every weekend.
Yeah.
And then coming back, and then I was just like, dadgummit, I need 8 hours.
Yeah.
Just give me one night of 8 hours.
Yeah, man. I feel that. No, I it's the weirdest thing too, because you'll
Figure it out.
when your new edition comes.
Oh yeah. Then there's no sleep at all, but at least someone's in the trenches.
Well, it's like
Yeah, what's it like?
comes in sections. Like you'll get Like last night for me, I got 4 hours, and then I was up an hour, and then I was asleep for another 3 hours, and then I was back up. So it's
like block schedule.
block schedule. There you go. It's exactly what it is. But there's no real schedule to it. It could be like 30-minute section, and then a 4-hour section, or it could be like 2 hours. And then
But it's not like 8 hours of REM sleep.
No, I haven't had that in 6 years.
No, heck no.
I haven't had
That's
it in
out.
6
That's
years.
out the door.
And it's not even necessarily them like coming in there and waking you up. Sometimes it's just like last night, Buck just cried. He just cried.
Yeah.
And I was just like that thing where you're
Help
just
me.
like,
Griffin,
I need
like,
some assistance.
I could get on Instagram
Need someone help me.
and really go down a rabbit hole, and before I know it, be watching, conspiracy videos. Or
you saw my
Just lay here
little girl last night. And then we'll get into Mississippi turkey hunting. I'm excited about that. She last night my kids sleep awesome, man. Like my wife got on mom's on call, I can't say that word, was very strict about it, and you know what I'm saying. I don't think I can say that
Yeah, I
these
feel you
days.
on that.
But she was very strict about it, so my kids sleep great. Like
good.
very routine. When they're off the routine, it's tough. So
Must be nice, man.
We've kind of been off the routine a little bit, and my little boy's in Kentucky, and so we've just got my little girl for the last 3 days, and we've kind of been staying up a little bit later and hanging out, watching some movies, eating some pizza. So last night we went fishing yesterday afternoon and kind of went past her bedtime. And last night it was about 12 o'clock, 12:30. I woke up and she was crying, and I let her fill it out a little bit and see if she's gonna fall back asleep, but she didn't. And I walked in there and I heard her going, "I want Ma." I couldn't understand her. So I went in there and she was like, "I want Graham." And that's my nephew, her cousin. He was like 14 years old. And we saw him this past week, and I was like, "You want Graham?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Were you dreaming about Graham?" And she was like, "Yeah."
dude, boozers, they're just starting to drink.
I know. And I said, "What were y'all doing in your dream?" She goes, "Fishing."
Like, I'm so sorry.
And I was like, "Did you catch anything?"
Yeah. What were you using?
I was like, "Hell yeah."
See, lizard.
Yeah. Dude, Mississippi, where you going?
That's great.
Getting into it. You're starting
Yeah.
Going.
This weekend.
Yeah, it's this weekend. I'm going with some buddies. I'm going down. My turkey, I'm having an April baby. And,
right.
I had uncles and stuff
You
being
didn't plan
like,
that
what,
one too
what
well.
are you thinking? Yeah,
Yeah,
that kind of thing. And
You didn't think about that?
it was an accident for sure. Like, we were like planning on starting.
Wait,
and then
what exactly was, where does the accident come into play? What was the accident?
well, we weren't not trying. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were trying.
She
but
didn't
not
accidentally
Yeah,
procreate.
no.
Okay. Just
The
saying.
timing was
I'm
an
just-
accident.
Okay, the
Yeah.
timing was
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
I was trying. I was trying to pinpoint
Yes,
what the actual
yes.
accident was.
So
Yes.
we already kind of talked about. It's like, okay, hey, let's start. Like, we've been married for 4 years. We're like, let's like start trying at this point. And in my head, I was calculating that would be like July, August. you
Yeah,
know?
perfect.
And then we came home from the
turkey hunter's
road, and she was like,
nightmare.
"Hey, guess what? She said we're not going to Hawaii anymore." And I was like, "Why?" And she sent me like thinks we were going to go to Hawaii for the opener, and then I was like, wait, when's this baby due? And she's like, in April. And I was like, oh no, but, great,
Oh,
But
man.
no,
That's
it's I mean it's a
amazing.
blessing, but it was so I'm just getting it in while I can
Yeah.
because my spring's gonna be cut in
Do
half.
it, man.
Yeah.
So
Do
we're
it.
going down there. But yeah, just gonna go down there for about a week and just hunt with some buddies.
Perfect.
Yeah. Y'all heading down there?
Man, we've got a spot that we can go, but honestly, man, our lives right now are just
Tied
so
up.
kids, man.
I get
They
it.
just slam the e-brake on all that traveling.
Yeah, I get it.
young kids.
Yeah.
I'll be at the aquarium in Chattanooga this weekend. That's
Heck
where
yeah,
that's
dude.
That's a good aquarium.
we're gonna run out
Been
there. Yeah, take the kids.
I'd like to. I'll slide down before we start, but it'll probably just be like a day trip. Kind
Yeah.
of cross the line, hunt a little
No, I
bit,
get it.
pop back.
Because y'all are from like right close to the line.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. Yeah,
parents-
our parents are from Mississippi.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I just
Dad's
know
from-
like
yeah.
they live like right close to like that. What's that lake right over down there?
Pickwick.
Pickwick.
Yeah.
they're kind
That's
of
where we grew
that
up, yeah.
way. That's right on the line.
Yeah, our parents are from there, and then I went to school at Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
Had a band. Our band traveled all down in there. Probably played the same places y'all played.
Probably
Y'all
so.
ever play Rick's anymore?
I haven't played
We
there in a
haven't played
long
there in a
time.
while.
Yeah.
But
Probably
we
been
love that place.
Two or three
Rick
years.
Welch is like one of the nicest
Oh,
dudes
he's
like
great.
on the planet.
Yeah, we love Rick. Man.
We're talking about we hadn't played in Mississippi in a long time.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like there's not many.
There's not many
rooms.
great rooms
very
like
true.
in Mississippi.
It's like once you get past, it's like, and then when we're only doing 50 shows a year, you're kind of like,
it's
Yeah.
like clubs, and then there's like Brandon Amphitheater.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that's
it's
it.
kind of
That's it.
hard. as that web gets bigger, you got to go play different. It used to be easy to play 50 shows in the South because that's all you could play.
Yeah.
But now it's like now you're going all across the country and
To hit 50
and
grand,
international. Yeah, it's like it's easy. There's a lot of cities to
Y'all
hit.
been overseas?
Haven't yet.
No.
We were supposed to go to Australia. We were supposed to be there starting next week, but it was just cutting too close to the date.
When you
Or
go over
whatever.
there, I got a guy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
okay.
In
Got a
Australia?
guy. Yeah.
that'd be fun.
He said, put your boy. He's like, I love country music. They're great guys. The people I've had. I'm like,
No, it'd be
the
fun.
best.
We've
Yeah.
heard Australia. I've heard Australia.
We
is
were
like
we were really
insane.
excited
It's the
about it, but
coolest
it's
place.
like being gone for a week, like within four weeks of my kid being born. I
Yeah.
was like, man, dude, that ain't like
and 20 hours away. It'd
Yeah.
be different if you're like in Dallas, but you
Bro.
know.
yeah, and you hop on a plane, but that
Totally different.
yeah, I
I
just
mean, I
didn't.
saw Luke go through it last year.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
and,
he was a wreck. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen those interviews where he's like, dude, like,
Can you imagine?
I missed it,
Oh,
you
man.
know?
Yeah.
2 weeks. When you
Yeah.
think about your baby being born in 2 weeks, and then the conflict of it is there was a lot of different opinions on this, and you can't really have an opinion on it unless it's happened to you. And it hasn't happened to me, but he sent me the text at 7 a.m. Like I was in the room next to him, hotel room next to him, and I came over there and he was just,
A wreck.
it's happening right now. It's happening right now. And we talked about it, like, and I'm not saying I saved the day or anything. I mean, Cappy was there and Hart was there too. We were all just kind of talking, and I was like, well, look, man, ultimately, like, here's the choices you have. Take off right now. You're going to miss it anyway because you're 24 hours from home. And so, I mean, like, it's happening right now. You know, this baby's coming, like, whether you're there or not. You can FaceTime through the whole thing and see the whole thing and be as supportive as you possibly can that way. You play the show tonight, then leave. And it's like, but then you got to come back and make up all those shows.
The pressure of those like stadium gigs, man. It's
it's
not
just-
like a bar gig where you can
Exactly.
just, you know.
And he was torn about it, man.
I'm
And he was
sure.
like, no, you
Dude.
know what? And Nicole was really great about, hey, just knock those shows out and come home kind of thing, you know. But his head was
I can't imagine.
His head was home the whole time we were there. You know what I mean? And it was tough, man. It was tough to watch him go through it. It was tough, you know, he's like a brother, you know?
Yeah,
I mean, it would be
absolutely.
like one of y'all, you know,
Yeah,
watching the
it'd
other
be
one go
horrible.
through it. It
Horrible.
was, so I think you're right. I think trying to plan that out and trying to stay at least within a drivable.
Oh
viable
yeah, we knew
distance
it
is
was the right
smart.
decision, and like all the fans like got it. Like we canceled that gig, and
Oh, really?
yeah,
Yeah,
and,
we
like everyone was like, yeah, family first,
yeah.
man. Like we get that, you
Yeah.
know, because
Yeah.
we've canceled gigs before. Like we canceled stuff for the post gig, you know, and we kind of got some backlash over it, but it was like this
Really?
is different. Yeah, oh yeah.
People
It was
just
like
don't
the
get it.
immediate people like, oh, you turning on your own fans.
I'm selling out.
Yeah.
Selling
Yeah,
out
yeah.
on
I was
this
like,
shit.
yeah.
Too big for your britches.
Yeah, that kind of
basically.
stuff.
Yeah,
Except for, there
it
was
was awful, dude.
There were
You're
some
like,
really mean ones.
golly, man. Like,
Ooh, tell us some mean tweets. What's like? You remember any mean ones?
I remember this one.
Yes.
I'm not gonna dime this lady out because she
Okay.
came to a show.
Okay.
We just finished our rescheduled tour from the Post Malone tour. So like most of these shows were the shows we canceled. So we had to go to these like VIPs and everything with these people. I mean, every night,
Every
people were
single
like,
night
and
on
they're
this
like,
tour.
"Yeah, man, y'all, you know, we were gonna be here for the first one, and
we
then-
had tickets to see y'all, but y'all canceled
So,
on
yeah,
us.
yeah,
you
it's
know?
like that kind of stuff."
Dang.
Well, this lady hit my like, or it was maybe in the Muscadine DMs, but
It was like the day or two after
she
or whatever.
and she's from
This is after the
yeah.
announcement.
I'll give you the
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
It's,
Okay.
So we announced the tour. We found out how this works out. You got to think of the timeline.
Okay.
We find out Labor Day. Hey, we got to make the decision by tomorrow. We got to be in Utah for the show Thursday.
Okay, let
It's
me
tour
clean it
starts.
up for the listeners. So you have a tour booked already.
Yes.
Y'all's tour.
Yes.
You get a phone call from who called you?
Well, Adam, our manager,
Adam
Adam
calls,
calls.
yeah.
Somebody calls him and goes, "Hey, Post Malone
Yes.
wants to take you on his
Yeah.
stadium tour
This starts
that starts
The
Thursday.
Thursday,
Thursday."
and our tour started Friday.
I need to know so I can tell the bus to change the route.
So like
You know.
the worst possible.
Yeah, so there's
It was
like
a nightmare.
It's just
Like,
kind of it's
Bro,
like
good problem.
It was,
That's
it
right.
was,
Yeah.
but it was
Absolutely.
almost not exciting because we were like, how would we even do that?
Yeah.
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 Like, how would
Yeah.
how could we pull this off?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get a call.
So, anyways,
You post something.
we're like, hey, we just had this, and that was like a hard needle to thread because you're like, man, there's gonna like it ain't like we're sitting here waiting for shows to happen. We got fans, and so it's like we're gonna let people down, especially this weekend because
Yeah,
like
especially the immediate.
Oh,
you know.
the
And so-
first one.
The first
and
one's bad.
I remember
yeah.
Minneapolis, Minnesota was the
They were
first
the
one,
ones.
and they were It was rough. And we went there a couple weeks ago.
Predominantly, it was them that was the most upset.
Yeah, because
like,
it immediately affected their lives. Like,
flights
like,
booked, hotels booked.
Oh,
like,
dang, I didn't even think about
they
that.
can't get refunds on that type of stuff. We can refund their ticket.
Right.
Like, we refunded everyone's tickets.
Thought about that. That's
but
true.
that type
You
of stuff, it's like, I do have some empathy. It's like, that is tough. Like,
Sure.
They're like, what else to do in Minneapolis?
So long story short, this lady, she just rips us and she tears us a new one.
Yes.
And but I was like, you know what?
Like-
we're going these kind of people, you got to kill them with kindness.
Sure, man.
And so we can
Take the high road, dude.
And I'm not. I have to
true
look
Mississippian
so
right here.
far down, but it's like
Alabamian,
after like 3 messages back and forth, she was like, "Fan for life." Like I just
You went back and forth though.
Oh yeah.
Was it DMs or was it
Yeah,
like
DMs.
Yeah, it was just
DM.
yeah, it was just and I was once again like we're sorry. I'm sorry you took a night off of work, and like I said, we'll be back. This is a big opportunity. Blah blah blah. And then she just kept chilling down. I was like, I'll tell you what. And when we do the reschedule, I'll have you some tickets and VIP
we'll get
for
you
you.
VIP
There you
tickets.
go.
And I held her. I remember I saw she had commented on our. Sent something like another DM commented on a story, and I was like, I know that face, and I was like, hey, just make sure you're coming this weekend.
I got the tickets.
All that, and then she came there, and
Fan for life.
I wanted to. Every part of me just wanted to rip her a new one into her face. Hey, like, yeah, hey, don't talk to people like this.
Yeah,
It's just brutal. But
Yeah, I mean, the next week, like on our social media page, and like me and Gary respond to every single DM. Like to this day, we still respond to everybody,
And we
no
don't
matter
even do
what.
that.
And like it was like an apology tour. Like it was like if it felt like every 10th DM was like us being like, we're really sorry. Like I hope you understand. Like, but like I am sorry.
Yeah.
But it's like an opportunity. It's like you get an opportunity at your job. It's like I wouldn't be mad at you for taking that opportunity.
No, absolutely,
You're
man.
getting a raise and
Right.
in a cooler position for a little while. It's
For
great.
sure, man.
Gotta miss a show
Kill
because of it.
Kill
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
And it's
Like,
also like, you got to do what you got to do, man.
it
Like,
is,
like
and that's like it sounds selfish a little bit, but it's like you do. Like it's like we're all ultimately trying to all get to the next step and build all of our resumes, no matter what business you're in. It's like we're trying to claw our way to the top and
yeah, man.
get to a position that's comfortable for everybody. But I get both sides. I have
too.
empathy. I have a lot
too.
of empathy for people, and who am I to?
What's the,
I feel you.
watch
You know
this
what I mean?
segue. It was probably negative like 10, and then
Oh,
positive
yeah.
was more like 90.
I mean,
Right?
yeah, nice.
yeah,
I see what you did there.
okay.
That's a great segue. Well, the sad part is I almost didn't catch it.
Yeah, I was
I know
thinking
that's
degree.
what I'm saying.
I almost
It was
corrected
good.
you and was like, well, it was
It's like a
more like
great hook of a
95.
song.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a minute. Well, listen, mean tweets are hilarious. The one I always think about is before this whole thing started, we were on Renella's podcast with Luke. It was the three of us. I'm sorry, it was me, Reid, Luke, and Steve, and some other cast. But he was basically focusing the focus was obviously Luke. Well, because he's a writer, he was curious about our story too, and so he was.
Fascinated
We
with-
listened to that podcast.
Fascinated with
Yeah, it was
songwriting.
like Giannis was Giannis
Yeah.
Patel's
Giannis,
on
yeah.
in there.
He's
from New
Is
Mexico.
that
Yeah.
pronghorn
Yeah.
hunt?
Yeah, pronghorn.
Okay.
We've seen
So-
that.
For some reason, I don't know if it was just like nerves or whatever, but I was answering a lot. He was asking us a lot of the questions we were asking. We were answering a lot of questions. And meanwhile, you have this mega superstar sitting there in the corner, And so one of the tweets said, yeah, really enjoyed the podcast. Would have loved to have heard more from the global superstar instead of that one guy that wouldn't quit talking. And we knew exactly what he was talking about me, man. It was great. We love mean tweets. We get them pretty regularly.
Yeah,
Pretty
Yeah.
fun.
that's fair, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Does it ever get
I don't
to you?
ever enjoy getting.
You don't ever
ripped.
enjoy.
Yeah.
You don't ever laugh.
I
about
mean,
it.
I think in retrospect I do, but it's still is damn, dude. That's
just taking a shot.
it's pretty messed up. It's like the audacity that people have is wild to me.
Oh, that is wild.
It's
Yeah.
wild, dude.
Yeah, unbridled.
Dude, I hate all kind of stuff, but there's not a fiber of my body that's I'm about to tell them how much I hate that.
Agree.
That's so wild to me.
Right.
Agree.
I'm
crazy.
gonna let them boys know.
I
how
know
feel
it's
about this.
it's
We
free.
just,
You can do it, whatever. But
Yeah.
it's
We-
I'm not gonna.
We announced our summer tour Monday, and I just remember it's like you announce this, it's hard to even be excited anymore because you know the comments are going to be, you ain't coming here, gosh darn it.
And if you are, you're probably going to cancel last minute.
Yeah, it's like, we're coming 30 minutes away. That's too far.
I even told them, like, I like hit them up and was like, I just got to rant for a second. I was like, it's like, who do these people think we are? Like, we're literally doing our best to play these shows, and we're going places we haven't been. It's like we're on this cycle where it's like, oh, you go here, and then you go there, and then you go back to other places, and then you go here. And it's like, well, why aren't you coming here? It's like, well, we were just there like 3 months ago, you know. And it's like they're pissed, and you're just like, damn, dude, like, I'm trying.
Yeah,
Like,
you ain't gonna make everybody happy.
It kind of hurts my feelings.
That's
Like,
right,
honestly,
that's right.
like, I'm like, this makes me sad. I'm trying, man.
Man, you guys, that's fun. I love hearing about people getting mad at other people. It's fun. Especially over
It's
stupid shit
hilarious.
like that.
Social media is wild.
Oh, it's wild.
It's a wild.
Well, let's stay on the music. Let's stay on the music side, then we'll go back to the
Hunter's
turkey
back
hunt.
in, but
Holmes back. It brings back.
No, we're coming in. So y'all are going. Y'all just did the post thing. You're doing the Laney thing. Where is that stadium? Where's that?
I think it's like sheds.
Yeah, I
Like
think it's
it's like
sheds.
sheds and arenas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's sick.
Yeah, like we're gonna be able to do like Madison Square Garden and like playing Bridgestone with her and like.
Did you
No.
ever think you'd be like where you're at?
Nah, I mean, I know like
Because
I
y'all's
was-
journey, sorry to cut you off, but y'all's
You're good.
journey is anything but typical in this town. You know,
Yeah,
like
for
doing
sure.
it yourself and doing it independently and grinding at that for so long to now. I mean, it's undeniable at this point.
Yeah.
You know, and you did it the grassroots way, man, and
Yeah,
it's pretty incredible.
Like when Gary and I started working together, like I was always confident that we would be successful in some form. Like if I didn't believe that, like
Wouldn't
we
be
wouldn't
here.
have.
Sure.
Wouldn't have we even like entertained the idea of working together. So it's like I've always believed in it, but like, you know, it is wild to see that like, you know, my dream was like, man, I wish I could play the Ryman one day or something like that, you know. And it's like, okay, we've done that.
Yeah.
And it's like now it's like, well, dang, all this other stuff, it feels like a bonus to me. Like it's like, no, I don't like. It's like it doesn't feel real. You know, it's cool to see and it is real, but it's like I have to remind myself, like, man, this is special.
I would say prior to the post Malone tour, I thought that kind of ship had sailed of like getting big opportunities like that, and I was just kind of content with like just what we do. I like what we do.
Yeah,
like,
sure, man.
We keep it simple. We don't have to make it more difficult than it has to be. I don't have 5 people hitting me from 5 different directions on what I should do with my career.
Yeah.
It's more just like, hey, we got our little team. If Charlie likes it, I like it. We do it. We don't like it, we don't.
Yeah.
And it's like
that is the best way to do
it's
it.
sure. And that's why it's like you said, we have balance. If I want to go on a turkey trip or take all of spring off to turkey hunt, I can do that. And Charlie's like, cool.
Don't bother me.
Yeah, we'll go play golf. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's like
seriously.
I don't know. It's just we kind of got I don't know where the disconnect was with even like music road. Like this is the first time I've been on 16th Avenue in probably 3 years. Like,
Really?
man, we
Yeah.
have
3
never-
years.
Yeah,
probably.
I was thinking the same thing when I pulled down here. I was like, this is
Probably
kinda
our
wild.
podcast last time. That's probably
Dude, I mean,
close to
probably
it.
it wouldn't shock me. Like,
it's one of those
man, that's
things.
that kind of blows my mind.
And beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
no
it's
doubt.
like I
Pretty
don't.
Yeah.
So we're not kind of really in the. I don't know what's going on in town. I know, like the new artists coming around, and when I hear their music and stuff, but it's kind of just been so far removed that I thought it's like, okay, well, this is just what we do, and like. I thought like if we were going to play an arena or we're going to play a stadium,
It's just gonna be our own
it'd be
thing.
our own thing, but that's never going to happen because that's we haven't set. But our standard we've set for ourselves hasn't been that.
yeah, it's
To
never
get there.
It's never been
awesome.
like do anything to get that place. Like
Yeah.
that's never been our mindset.
Yeah.
You know.
And so now that we're 10 years in and now getting these opportunities, I think it's just like the war of attrition coming into fruition
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
it's like, hey man, we just been doing our thing, keeping our head down. And
It's a cool tip of the cap that like some people,
Dude,
especially like
absolutely.
people like Post Malone. It's like it's weird to say, but it's like him being a country artist is cool, and it's like it's a cool tip of the cap to him to like bring out some independent country music act. Like he
100%
definitely
solely because he digs
did
it.
not have to do that.
Yeah,
you know
no
what I mean?
doubt.
He probably was advised not to.
Probably.
Just as a guess.
Probably.
But
He was
no,
probably
it's
like,
not a
well,
PR
actually,
play.
let's
It's not-
bring
yeah.
someone way bigger out.
Did
Yeah.
y'all ever did you ever find out how that happened? Was he a fan? How did you even get on that thing?
I really wish I could tell you the real reason.
Yeah.
Like, I know we have some connections inside their camp and
Gotcha.
like mutual connections in our team and stuff, but like Post like dug the music. I mean, he was he told us like from the get go, like he was like, man, I like just dug y'all. Like it seemed like just that simple.
That organic. That's
and
cool.
It was like weird. We have like this strange backstory with Post because we put out a record. We put out the country record the same day he put out his. We put out the Coastal Plain record. And that was actually the second time we've done that in our career. We put out a record like not a record, but we put like an EP or something out a long time ago. And he followed us on Twitter.
Right.
And this was like 8 years ago, like
Wow.
a long time ago. And like nothing came of it. I mean, something came of it, but it's like, we was always just like some funny thing we got told people like, well, Post Malone follows us on Twitter, you know?
Sure.
And he was just like a rock star. Like
that was
Post
probably
Malone.
April Psycho.
Oh, it was definitely
dude,
in that.
for
It was
sure.
White Iverson.
It was those early days, but
Ooh, that's some good
it was just
stuff.
kind of like interesting that like we always we're like, oh, when Post Malone might know who we are.
And,
Like, I don't know.
and I remember we made this joke the day the Coastal Plain record came out. We're like, hey, after y'all get on a post, we were like, hey, after y'all get done with the Post Malone record, like this came out.
Y'all give ours a listen.
And
That's a
then like,
great
the next
way to
week,
be.
it's like, hey, y'all are on. We're going on tour with Post
Dang,
Malone. We were
man.
kind of like, this is
That
kind of.
is
Yeah,
awesome.
that's true. Wow.
So I don't know how it happened, but he's a cool dude.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, he's just a chill guy, and
He's the most he might be an alien. Actually.
Yeah.
Like the most interesting man alive.
he likes
Here,
he's into everything.
We're going to
we
that.
don't have to.
Let's go,
I'm
man.
just
go.
giving
I'll
you a
go with
little shirt
Thanks,
corner
man.
there that you can
Appreciate
pull on
it.
it if you want to.
So the album's dropping April 11th.
Yes.
So this will be out before that. Is that looking at is it kind of like a continuation of the Coastal Plains?
It is
Oh, it is. You nailed that.
Coastal Plains and what was left behind.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just like 2-part.
But it's not B-sides.
Yeah.
Let's get that correct. Let's come correct with that. Like it's not like the scraps. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know it.
we
ain't.
kind of try to just strategically place them for both records. The problem was
we had a ton of songs.
we kind of got in
Yeah.
this realm of like writing. I don't know. Our writing process is totally different than
Yeah, I want to hear about it.
Ours.
yeah. It really than anybody's. It's
Well, if you
more
ain't been
of
on
like
Music Row in 3 years, then
Yeah,
it's
so-
absolutely
Hey,
different.
can you pass me that water?
yeah. Have it, Bubba.
Thirsty.
Sorry,
I'm
dog.
just kidding.
Here,
No,
I got another.
You want some coffee?
no, you're good.
Need
Thanks,
protein
Bubba.
shake.
Yeah. No, yeah, for we've just kind of taken the approach is totally different. Like we did the whole like, hey, let's write 3 days a week, get the reps, get out on the road and I think you can get really great songs doing that. And I think for us in the time it was really good for us to hone a craft and write with guys, that do this for a living and get better. But we just started looking at things as like, okay, well, what's Muscadine? I don't really know what Muscadine Bloodline is because we're so all over the board. We're just like throwing out these EPs and there's no like, I don't know what this brand is. And then we started, I feel like the Teenage Dixie record that came out in 2022 was like the first record that we were like, oh, this is Muscadine.
Like, this feels like something.
Yeah.
And then we just started going with that. And then the writing process kind of turned into like, well, let's create a world from a 30,000 foot view. And then let's treat a record like it's a book and every song's a chapter. So now we're approaching the writing room like, okay, well, let's look at this list.
What else do we need?
What does this record
gaps need
need
to fill?
more
Yeah.
so than that? And
Instead
then
of just going to write a song
Sure, man.
and be
trying to
well,
make-
does it fit? I don't know.
and then trying to make everything cohesive through that process and finding some kind of like we've been on this like geo-specific kick of writing places we know about, and it's like there's something cool to bring someone to a world that you and I know really well because we're from here. But how do I take Reid and Dan there and give them something where they're like, well, I've never been in that specific place, but I know
I have
exactly
a
what they're
place,
talking
yeah.
about.
That's crazy. I mean, look at it. Literally, I'm getting chills
Right.
because I felt that way listening to Chickasaw Church of Christ.
Yeah, man.
I know that church.
Yeah, same.
I know that parking lot. I know exactly.
And it
I
doesn't
know
have to be a
exactly
church.
What
you know,
spot, where you're at.
That's where it is.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's
I
just
mean,
that spot that's no one's going to be at.
That's right.
In my head, I see a small red brick church with a big, super black parking lot,
Yeah.
surrounded by oak trees. Like
Yeah.
you know how some of those
Out in the
churches
middle
are
of
Tucked away,
nowhere.
dude.
are
Yeah.
just cut out of a
little
like
sign in front.
yeah, man, a
you
little
know?
tiny sign in
Yeah,
front.
dude.
I could see it, man. I love that song.
Thanks, man.
But man, for me, dude, like you gotta tell you probably can't play it. I wish you would play it. We'll let your people say if you can play it or not. When is this coming out? Is it coming out after the record or before the record? So it won't be out. But dude, Way Too High is in my guts, dude.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah.
It's in my guts. I have watched that freaking clip
Where is it at? Is it on Instagram?
over and over and
Yeah, we've been
over
working on
and
there pretty
over.
hard.
That's just a nostalgia one.
I'm not
dude.
gonna ask. Well, yeah.
Okay,
I'm
well,
gonna
can you
ask
play
if
what you
can-
played on Instagram? Can you play that here?
You just play the section you put on Instagram. I'll
Probably.
drop it real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. If y'all want it, don't bother us.
I gotta figure it. Yeah.
I can play it if you can. I already know.
Yeah.
He said, I can play it if you can.
Dude, that song, man, something's up.
I'm excited because I legit haven't heard it. I have no
Something's up
clue.
with that tune. I got a tuner on there.
Me on You is that's mine.
Yeah, I know. You're a jam
I love how y'all just put people on the spot. It's
guy.
great.
Sorry, bro.
Sorry, dude.
We'll cut it.
They're like, let's see if they're actually talented.
Was
Come on,
this,
let's-
so is that what y'all posted? Is that first two verses?
yeah. No, yeah, the song is
No,
just a verse,
so-
chorus, verse,
Or
chorus.
is that chorus? I don't know.
That's the chorus. So like the first verse.
Are you gonna give me first verse and chorus?
We can. Whatever
Yes.
y'all want, man.
Well, if we need to cut it, we can.
Whoever we need to, if we need to pay
Our
you off or
management will
something.
approve it, brother.
Okay,
Don't
okay.
worry.
So y'all
thumbs up.
So we're from Mobile's right on the Mississippi line. I'm giving you context.
Yeah.
Of like, because these are like real these are real people that we're dropping in the song.
Look at me, fan. I'm
And so, like,
fanning over here,
every
dude.
Friday after school, we'd cross the state line of Mississippi because you could buy tobacco when you were 18. So it's like me and my buddy Brandon Richardson, we call him Be Rich. And so we
Shout out B.
we'd
Rich.
drive to
Be
we'd drive to
Rich.
Hurley and then come back and then just like. And then I got in a lot of trouble because I was buying for all the freshmen and stuff like that, and they're
yeah.
giving you $20
Come back
for
with
a
law.
Contributing to a minor.
Yeah.
Hey, who are the Baker Boys? Just tell me that real quick.
It's a high
It's a high
school
school.
in Mobile.
Of course it is.
Where they were like
Rival
just
high school, dude.
always like they were the fighting group. Like after every sporting event, they were like walking over to the bleachers, being like, "Where are we meeting y'all after
And
this?"
we went to private school, so there was always like this like private school, public school,
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
rivalry type.
What
of
private
thing.
school did you go to?
I went to St. Paul's.
He went to where PV
Okay.
went.
Yeah.
All
It
right.
kind of feels like Dennis Lindy-ish a little bit.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying?
You're
Like,
gonna have to explain what that is, but yeah, it does.
well, I don't really know it too much.
Well, basically,
like,
Dennis Lindy had a made-up town in his
in his brain that he
every
wrote
song
from.
He wrote. were
I mean, like
about
John Deere Green,
characters in it. Earl Had to Die.
Earl Had to Die,
Yeah.
all those same characters. What's the Sammy Kershaw?
Mechanic. Yeah.
Queen of My Double Wide Trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
all
cool.
those are about the same place and same character.
Yeah,
He
so
just built a town in his
you build a
mind and
world.
wrote from
Except
it.
you're building the actual world that you're from. Sorry,
Yeah.
we'll shut up. Play the song. It's so good, dude. I can't wait.
Okay. That's tune enough. Me and Be Rich would head to Hurley for weeks worth of grizzly straight. Turning 18 was the magic number to buy it over that state line. Yeah. 2010 was a time ago. Turning down Dirt Johnson Road. You could tell Trace House was the place to go from the trucks lined up outside. We were black and miles of swisher swing. Lil Wayne on a burnt CD. Up and down them Theodore streets in a truck up way too high. Got some Baker boys looking for a fight. Meet us over at the pit tonight. Half a case of warm bush light in a truck up way too high.
Come on, that's it, dude. That's it, dude. You gotta do it, of course, though.
Me and C-Dub and Colby Rogers,
C-Dub.
tape wrists and cowboy collar. Locked arms walking to the 50 for the flip on Friday night.
God, y'all bad, dude.
We were too cool for school and too cool for prom. Skipped the dance cause the rut was on. Living like we won't live long, but a country boy can't survive. With some black and miles of swisher switch. Lil Wayne on a burnt CD. Up and down them Theodore streets in a truck up way too high. Got some Baker boys looking for a fight. Meet us over at the pit tonight. Half a case of warm bush light in a truck up way too high.
Come on, man. What?
It just feels like you're in high school.
Come
man.
on,
Like,
man. Dude.
Yeah.
There. You're
Dude.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're there, man.
Mega fan of that tune.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Mega. I
I'm
mean,
glad to
look,
hear
I'm
that.
not kidding, dude.
That's one of those ones like that I feel like it always
I'm
happens
so
like
sad
this.
that's over.
But it's
I'm
like
so
That was
sad
nasty.
that's
Well,
over.
that's the thing.
That's
is like,
nasty.
that's how we made it.
we
like,
tried to make it like, and there's this long like. I'm not gonna give it all away, but there's like we
kinda
did
already
like
did.
a long outro of it's just like a feel thing, and this song never goes anywhere,
Yeah.
and so
Just sits.
but which is also
It doesn't have to.
but it's also
Because you're already there. Like,
and it's
you're
a-
where the
What's
song
it-
takes you
Yeah,
immediately.
well, it's also like it's a parallel to where it's also it doesn't go anywhere because we're right there still.
Yeah, man.
So it's like and like
And
it's
you're
like
sad when it's
how do
over.
I write a song? And I think as men, like us getting all in our like emotions is especially Southern men. So
Sure.
Oh, bro.
it's like we don't talk about, but it's like I always want to write a song about my boys to where it's like it prompts me to call them. Like that kind of was the concept of that, and
It's
it was
good
just
that
like the life we. I mean, it was just us and like people from Mobile like have heard that song and they're just like, dude, this is crazy. Like kids from who went to high school at Baker. We had a boy come to Baton Rouge and see us play, and
It's like I went to Baker. dude.
he went to Baker, and he's like, dude, that's just sick, and it's so true. And
Yeah, it makes me wanna fight
and then we
boys from
start,
Baker.
and then we started.
I'm like, what's that?
Yeah, well, then
Point
we
the
sta-
Baker boys
well, then
out.
we
Let's go to the pit.
Well,
Find me in the pit,
and then so it's like it's all these I don't know, it's just cool, and the people me, him, and the guy, his name's Ben Givens, and we went to college together, but he also went to Baker, and it was like we just started rapping about the whole
Scene,
the Mobile. Like we just went back there, and it's like, you remember, and it's like,
Yeah.
and then we're right back there.
Yeah.
Bro, we still flip Adamsville off when we drive by the high school.
Literally.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's on
Yeah.
the other side of the river. We're like,
Yeah.
we're on our
Hey,
way to
y'all.
grandmother's
That's
house.
right.
Yeah, you can take
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Hope y'all losing.
Whoop y'all's ass. Like,
yeah.
Man, there was an interview and a quote from you, Charlie, where you said, "We can't control the uncontrollable. We just want to enjoy the ride." Like, what has the ride been, and what has it meant for y'all? You're going on 10 years. It's so cool to me that hearing y'all play that song like that, like y'all get to go play songs like that every weekend to people and sing about your life and sing about real things and real things you believe in and the way you want to do it, when a lot of these cats don't get to do that. They got to go do the thing every weekend and like what
The thing you're referring to is like the bit.
the
right?
bit, the mainstream.
It's like the
yeah.
shtick or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
man.
shtick. Yeah. I'll second what you're saying, and I'm not adding to the question, but like when you pave it your own way and you gain fans based on like your actual soul and your actual song and the actual craft that you've developed through your life, like I feel like those are lifelong fans instead of folks sticking around for a hit. And I'm not saying that you don't have hits on that record. I think you've already put out hits.
Same.
Hits.
Yeah.
But to cultivate a real fan driven like band is a mega hard thing to do,
Yeah.
especially in the world of social media. You've been able to do that. What does that feel like, man?
I mean,
You have to be proud of it.
I am like I'm immensely proud of what we've built, and I think that's something that's kind of striking me is like, interestingly enough, like we don't know it any other way. Okay,
Mhm.
so like
Mhm.
No, you don't.
sometimes it doesn't feel like it feels like what we were just meant to do. Like it doesn't feel special sometimes, and I'm trying to word this correctly.
no,
like,
you're doing great.
in a way of like, it doesn't feel like we tried to do it. It's like Gary and I just like,
Like there's the scheming and strategy, and you're just doing what you.
and there is.
Sure,
but
sure.
it's like, it feels almost as organic today as it did when Gary and I were like sleeping in the same bedroom,
Yeah.
and it's like, we've
I'm glad
always
you put room on the end of that. I thought you were going to say sleep in the same bed.
well, we've shared hotels.
Yeah,
since
what are you
then,
talking about?
but
Yeah.
We
it's
still do.
like, I don't know, man. It's like, I'm extremely proud. I know how blessed we are to have this, but I know that we like worked really hard for it.
Yeah, man.
And we still do. And that is the most rewarding thing to me. And there's nothing better than like going out on the road and meeting people and seeing them, become like emotional to your music, or like just songs that you made with your friends in the studio that meant something to you at the time, like means everything to these people.
Dang.
And that's heavy to me, but it's like, it's cool to see it, and those are those like reminders, like, oh, this is why I leave every weekend. You know, like it's hard to leave, but it's like, this is why, like, this is my why, you know? So it's cool to do.
Yeah, man. I mean, arguably I would say it's reaching the world at this point. I mean, you're going to go to Australia eventually and you're going to have people singing your songs back in like a different dialect. And that's wacky.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's wacky. But to know that the same things that you're wherever you're writing these things are making it that far is
I mean, we still
cool.
can't believe people show up to see us in Omaha, you know, like that's crazy enough. It's like, sure, I would love to go see Australia and play the UK one day. And we're doing some Canada dates this year, but it's like, man, I never thought we'd play outside of Alabama. You know, like I was talking about how all that stuff that feels like a bonus. It's like, man, it feels like a bonus. I feel like we're in bonus time right now.
Yeah.
In the States, you know, it's like, damn, dude, 2,000 people are coming to see you and
singing every word to
name
you.
the state, you know, and it's like, that's crazy to me. It doesn't feel even correct. Like, it's like, why do people come see us?
Yeah. We say the same thing about this podcast. We're like, well, I don't know why anybody listens to us.
You know?
No, I mean, I think it's the time investment too that people don't understand.
Oh, they can't.
Especially in nowadays, because it takes, like we saw our buddy, you know, Hudson Westbrook or whatever. He played Billy Bob. We sold out Billy Bob's.
10 years.
It took us 10 years to do it. 5,000 tickets. It's like we sold it out. And we were like, man, that's cool. And then Hudson Westbrook comes in and sells it out, and he's been doing this for 8 months. And it's like, there was a time where I used to be salty about that.
He's from Texas, though, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So there's a little bit.
But he records over at Ambersound where we do all of our records. But it's just like, in today's day, he's like the anomaly of like, oh, it's really going.
Sure.
And he's really talented. But it's like, that's kind of like the standard people put on these artists now, to where it's like, well, that's the standard because he's actually doing it.
Yeah.
And so then it just messes everybody up here because they're like, well, man, like my song ain't going off.
Why did it take this long?
Yeah, and that sort of thing. And so it's like being, you know, in our 30s now and been doing this for 10 years, and it's nice we're getting these moments and like to open for Post Malone and Laney. And like at this point, it's like, oh, this is just a walk in the park. We're going to have fun doing this because it's like we've been working on our craft for 10 years.
You've already put in the hard work to get
last
there.
thing you want to do is Muscadine play in front of you. So it's like that's the attitude.
Let's go.
That's the attitude you come in and feel like, you know, that's how I want to feel.
Yeah, man.
Like,
Punch him in the face.
Yeah, I got this opportunity. I'm going to go seize it. It ain't, you know, taken for granted. And then it's like, this is for all those 8 years, you know, we're slumming in a van.
Bro. Yeah, that's right.
And
That's
so
right.
it's like, those are those, I don't know. It's just like, but after, it's like, yeah, it's easy to say now because it's like, man, look how cool this is. You think, you know, it's like, yeah, well, it wasn't cool for 8 years.
Dang right.
And so it's like, it's kind of like,
Dang right.
you know, we talk about like country music, it's like, or the industry or whatever, as like, you know, it's kind of like you said, it's like, it's the bit, right? You go play the thing. I was like, but the testament is true. It's like, if you're willing to put in the time, you don't have to play a game.
That's right.
You can just go do, but that concept of time, it's like, well, I don't have time to do that. So let me fast track or shortcut this, get a team that's doing that. And do whatever. It's your life.
There's no right answer.
No, agreed.
It's just everybody's doing their own thing. And it's just like, we can only speak from the concept of like, this is what we had to do.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have offers.
Yeah. Right.
So it's like, well, I know I want to play music for a living.
Yeah, so let's figure out how to do it.
Yeah, so let's make a business.
And so
let's run a small business.
Charlie says is like, organically, 2015, I feel the exact same way as we did when we were first starting, like how we move. But it's just like, I can afford the house I live in now.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm proud of that.
So it's like, that's the difference.
Yeah, I love when people say, man, you're lucky to do what you do. And it's like, no, man, I'm not lucky. I work real hard.
This ain't
Don't
easy.
diminish these last 10 years for me,
right.
dude.
That's right. There's two things that keep coming to my mind hearing you talk about that. And one is, first off, if you don't know who Adam Hood is, he's an unbelievable writer. He has a song that says it took a whole lot of hard work to make it look easy. And man, that is so true. And I don't think, and hopefully the podcast that we're doing right now helps people understand how much work actually goes into being a writer, how much work goes into being an artist, a touring artist, a touring artist that can support himself, a touring artist that can support a family,
An independent touring artist
Dude,
that didn't have the handshakes and the cross the table contracts that a lot of people get in this town, man. Like the drive was there to do it, man, and that's what's beautiful.
The second thing is that, and we don't talk about this a lot, but I feel like we touch on it once. Someone in our whatever you want to call it stratosphere ends up putting food on the table and socks on their kids' feet out of the creation of what came out of their brain consistently, you can't tell that son of a bitch nothing.
Oh yeah,
you can't tell me nothing.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a learned trait where you're like, oh, I have the power.
We trenched all the way, to having a song on the radio, to having a couple on the radio, to being able to, and they're like, oh man, it must have been nice.
Must be nice to write songs, man. Yeah,
I'm like, well, you don't see the 12 years that we were grinding.
You don't see the 1,000 songs.
The crappie you're catching off the houseboat just to eat.
There you go.
Dang right.
Literally.
So it's like those are that is the reality of this thing. And two, it's like what we do collectively, it's so foreign, right?
Oh,
because
it's wacky.
Well, because for us to go right, it's like you got to go live too. And to go live, it means sitting back and doing nothing and thinking. So like, how can I explain to my dad who works on air conditioners? It's like, well, no, I sat in this room and stared at this wall for 3 hours, and then finally lightning struck and something came here, and I started chasing something.
And walked out of the room with this.
And it's like, it's so, they don't understand that, like, I mean, even in the touring aspect, it's like, man, like you said, must be nice, being buddies with Luke Combs must be nice,
Post Malone,
just fun. Yeah, it's just like, so
just
it's
calling you up, asking you to come on tour.
And like, that's just the reality of it. And it's just like, hey, and that's not going to change, but it's like
never going to change.
So but we are all blessed, it's like,
no doubt.
You've made, like you said, putting socks on your kid and food is on your table.
God's favor, man.
Must be nice is my favorite. That's my favorite because when people say that, it's like, hey man, well, if you did what I did, you'd have this shit too.
Yeah, ain't no doubt, man.
I mean,
ain't no doubt.
If you worked as hard as we did, you'd be right there.
Nobody's stopping you.
But you're only saying that because you ain't got it.
Yeah.
And you're mad.
All you got to do is sound like me, look like me, work like me.
Right like me, play like me.
I say all the time, man, and I know this is so disheartening to people, but I was at a 20-year reunion, 10-year reunion.
Oh, you're aging yourself,
I didn't
brother.
go to I'm old as hell. My 10-year reunion, a girl came up to me and said, hey, my husband wants to do what you do.
Oh my gosh.
How does he do that? And
that offends me.
It is an offending question, even though it's not meant to be offending.
Or like I think I'm gonna move to Nashville.
Yeah, I think I might give it a try.
Whatever.
My favorite thing is I might give it a shot. It's like, and the answer I said was, well, he needs to learn how to play guitar and maybe start listening to some different stuff that broadens his, musical horizons.
But what I really wanted to say is,
okay, he wants to do what I do, right?
Yeah.
So first off, find a damn time machine, go back 20 years, be fat all the way through middle school and high school, bottle up those emotions, live in a glass house where the preacher is the community freaking,
and a younger brother that's balling out, dude, at everything.
And who's the most handsome man?
Live with a complex that your brother is way more handsome than you. You know what I mean? And like, because that's the only way, get your heart broken in 8th grade and then get cheated on in college. And then, because that's, in order to write what I write, you're going to have to go through the exact same experiences that I went through to get to that place.
Well, and everybody's got that, right? Everybody's got that story, but tapping into that and creating a product from
pain or pleasure, whatever it is.
That's the craft.
That is hard.
Yeah.
That takes years and years of not even writing songs, but just like going to that level in your mind, man, and trying to grab things that matter and are important to you and mean something to somebody from those moments.
And we do say this all the time, but I feel like the depth of your well that you draw from in order to write those songs or in order to play those shows or to sing those songs deepens with the amount of journey you have before. You know what I mean? So like, because we have all those experiences to reach in and draw from, and those 12 years of barely being able
Yeah,
to
I don't
support
know. Yeah.
ourselves, much less like a wife,
Yeah.
and not even considering a
Kid,
family.
yeah.
Dude, you know,
It's like here's a guitar.
because you feel guilty.
Go figure out how to make money.
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah,
That's what we did.
Yeah.
You feel
know?
guilty. You're like, and I say this. I said this to somebody the other day. It's like my wife Cheyenne. She didn't have the dream I have, so like she's kind of enslaved to my dream because. You know, like I'm the one. I'm the one that has to make it work.
Well, our wives are all in the same position where it's
Exactly.
like, you know, and that's another part of the difficulty of like the time investment of it too. It's like my schedule takes priority
Yeah.
a lot
Has
of
to.
times too.
Has
Like,
to.
you know, it's
Yeah.
like this is important. Even though it doesn't seem like it, it's like when you explain what you're going to go do, it's like it doesn't feel that important, but it's like, no, like this business is such an investment. Like it's pennies here that turn into $100 here.
Sure.
And it's that time investment, you know,
That you're not even sure of.
that can create some hardships in marriage too. Where it's like,
1000%.
you know, like I hate, like my wife, she has difficulty with like being like, well, it just stinks to like have to like get on your calendar, you know? And I'm like, I totally get that.
Yeah.
But like, that's just adulting and like
Yeah.
growing as people. It's like, and she's great with it now. It's like our wives are the poster child great wives for
Yeah.
this type of business. Cause it's
Yeah.
not easy, man.
Ours are
Like,
too.
Hell no, it
Yeah,
ain't.
ours
It
are
is
too.
not easy.
And it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, I can't explain how many times I've been like, okay, I got to go play golf. I won't be home till 10 o'clock tonight. And then she's like, why? And I'm like, well, this guy wants to go play. Like, well, we had plans. And I'm like, yeah, but in order to do the thing, I got to go do this thing, you know,
Yeah.
or go play in some tournament or, you know what I mean? Go hunting
Or do a
fishing with
writers
somebody.
round or
Do
a writers
freaking
retreat
writers
or
round,
whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
retreat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
It's a lot of time, man.
No, it is.
Glad
Yeah.
it fell into y'all's lap, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
10 year
y'all are
overnight
real- y'all are-
success.
y'all are-
Hey,
y'all are
mate, so
lucky.
reached up and grabbed
Y'all are
it, bro.
lucky.
Yeah, man.
No,
Just feeling all
y'all,
that?
y'all are killers, man. Y'all are killers. Bro, usually we talk for an hour about hunting and then like 10 minutes about music, but it's kind of flipped the
Dude,
script.
because the story is so
Yeah, it's great.
compelling.
It's great. We got to get into turkey hunting. Bro, what are you trying to kill a bird in every state at this point?
I think, but I kind of had a
Wait, for real, for
realization.
real?
Yeah, I'm in the 30s, but of like states have crossed off. But
Jeez.
I always told my wife, I was like, man, I want to kill them in half the states before I have a kid. And we got there. And I kind of had this realization. My buddy Lake Pickle, I don't know if y'all know
Yeah.
Lake,
Oh,
worked
really
at
well.
Primo's, and
Yes,
then,
dude, he's
and then
awesome.
Great.
we were actually on the road to South Dakota, and we'd killed one in South Dakota. I'm like, man, let's pop over to whatever state's beside it. Let's see if we can knock out this one too while we're out here.
Yeah.
And I kind of got burdened with. He was like, man, like there ain't no trophy at the end of this thing. Like, what's the rush for? It's like, let's go home. Like, we had fun. Like.
Yeah.
And so I kind of put it into perspective. I was like, man, I do spend a lot of time doing this. I also have a job already that takes me away from home.
Yeah.
My one hobby, like taking me away. And not to say, I'm still going to go on some hunting trips. Don't get me wrong, come spring.
Ain't no doubt. Ain't no
But
doubt.
it ain't.
I know.
And
I know you are.
especially with a kid on the way.
Yeah.
It's kind of like my priorities are kind of changing. I love to do it, but it's like, hey, they're gobbling by the house. You
That's
ain't
right.
got to go to Maine
That's right.
to go do it or
right.
whatever.
The fan looks the same. Like,
Right. It's
on the
just,
wall.
it's it's like those kind of things. But yeah, I mean, eventually I would love to do that.
That'd be
but
nasty.
I'm not like,
There's probably not many cats that
You got time.
have done that.
yeah. And like it too, it's like now I've kind of gotten like over halfway. I'm like, man, if I could knock off one or two a year,
Yeah.
it's something, it gives me something to look forward to.
Totally.
Sure, man.
That it's something I think it's great for Charlie and I. And you were asking like, how this works. We also have activities we enjoy to do outside of Muscadine.
Away from each
Gotta
other.
have it.
Away from each
Absolutely.
other.
Yeah, man.
And also too, we're not trying to monetize it. So it's
Yeah,
like,
dude.
it's not business. It's
Yeah.
just strictly pleasure. I can't tell you how many times people are like, man, y'all should start a hunting show, get somebody, YouTube you in the woods. It's like, well, then that takes all the fun out of it. Then it's just more work.
Same with
No
me
doubt,
with golf. They're like, why don't you film it? I'm like, dude, because I don't want to. Like,
Yeah.
That's not Adam, our manager's not saying that. I'm just saying like people are like, man, we'd love to see, and it's like, yeah, well, that's my time.
Right.
So it's
Yeah, come
like,
see us at the show.
I don't want to
Yeah.
spend more money to get somebody to follow me around with
Yeah.
a camera. Like, heck no, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you
I want to
something.
smoke cigars and hang out
It
and
changes.
chill.
It
and-
changes it.
Yeah.
Definitely
It
changes it.
absolutely changes it. Give us your best turkey story.
Okay. Best turkey story. I was in Idaho. This was like 2022. Me and my wife were up there. I got an uncle who lives in Montana, close to Missoula.
Yeah.
And so every now and then we'll ride out there and just go hang for. So I went up 3 days early.
Montana's
It's
shit.
awesome.
It's awful.
And so went up there 3 days early. And I was like, hey, Ashley, I'm gonna go turkey hunt for a couple days in Montana or whatever. So
Meet
just
you up there.
pulled up on X, just started looking public land, whatever. Yeah. We ended up killing one first morning. And so I was like, well, dude, I got 2 days to kill. I'm gonna go to Idaho. And I heard some good stuff about this area, and it's crazy how many people will be on like you could look up on YouTube and like you can find out where people are going.
For sure.
And I feel like turkey hunters are the people that are doing that. They're kind of like always like trying to get inside access on whatever. Sure. But I go up to Idaho and across the border and get out at this spot. It's a bunch of timber company land that you can just hunt. You pay like a $5 fee and you can just hunt. And there's so much of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Get out. See, as soon as I get out, I thought I saw a horse track, and that was a moose track. And I was like, and then I see a bunch of moose scat, and I was like, oh, I spent enough time in here. I'm gonna run into one of these suckers. So, anyways, roost a bird that night, and or that afternoon, and I'm like, okay, I see where he's at. This is where I'm gonna get my game plan together. Mm-hmm. This is where he's gonna pitch to this right over here to this ridge and whatever's perfect set up. So I get up top early, and I got my gun facing towards down this thing. Got a great setup. You know, I got some. I don't even know what kind of trees they were, but trees in between me and the turkey, so to speak. He's gonna pitch. I'm guessing left to right on this ridge is the only opening he can do it.
Right.
Well, then I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, over to my right, there's like this roll in the hill, and I was like, man, like I started hearing something thrashing, and I was like, man, whatever that thing is big.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, I'm like, I just hope it's not. I mean, I'm in grizzly country too,
Sure,
up there, up in northern Idaho.
Yeah.
And so it comes over the ridge, and it's a cow moose. And they talk about like in the spring, like don't find them cow mooses, especially and if they got a youngin, it's even worse.
So they'll stomp you to death.
So I'm here, 20 yards to my right.
20 yards.
Yeah. Oh, it gets worse. Comes over this ridge, and I'm like, okay, smell me, catch me something, just go somewhere.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm like, this is too close. I'm not moving. And so my little ass is sitting up there on, against that tree in a mossy oak little, whatever, leafy jacket.
Yeah.
Just looking like a little bush on this tree. Well, he don't go left or right. He comes straight to me. And it stops on a dime, just like a deer. Here. Like into my gun, he's here. And he starts, turning that head like a deer would when he's catching scent.
Are you by yourself?
By myself.
Jeez.
And this sucker goes,
You have a bear gun or anything?
no, this is just southern,
just has a
southern boy turkey hunting.
Okay.
410 TSS, number 9
single
shot.
shot.
Exactly what I had. And so it's like, there's you just turkey hunting. You hear one gobble, danger don't matter. It's
right.
just like, who cares?
Yeah, how do I get
And
to
so, so he stops broadside at me, and it's like turning, and all of a sudden his nostrils just in my gun, like
my goodness, dude.
it's literally inside of his nose. He's just like, oh, smell something here.
What is this tree?
And so I'm just sitting
Staring
here,
at you?
yeah,
Oh,
and
my
like
gosh.
I was, and then all of a sudden it got a whiff of something it didn't like, and it just darts off. But I just remember like the convulsion of like the
Like,
adrenaline
that could
hit
have been
after,
bad.
and
No
I was just
doubt.
like. It was just, I was like, what? But the whole time I was telling my uncle, because he even told me, he's like, hey, like when you're up there, like that's the wilderness where you're going.
Yeah.
So just be cognizant of that. And yeah. And then after that, like that was my last day of turkey season that year. And that bird ends up pitching way down the mountain, like somewhere else. But like, that was enough adrenaline for
Dang,
me. But yeah,
that
I mean,
is
it's right there.
wild, bro.
But I'll tell you what, if it was a grizzly, like I'd have saw what 410 TSS would have done right to the skull. Like,
feel that.
and I would have just, what does Steven say? Rather be tried by 12 instead of walked out by 6 or whatever. So it's like I'd have shot that
Tried
sucker,
by
dude.
12 and carried by 6.
Oh, dude,
I
ain't
feel
no
that.
doubt, man.
Yeah, I wish that's the one that
intense.
comes to mind or whatever.
That's intense.
Idaho is such a great state.
It's
to
the best.
turkey hunt, man.
It's awesome. They're everywhere.
Turkeys
Yeah.
everywhere, man.
I've got a couple good turkey stories, but I have a better deer story.
Tell it.
if y'all are
Wait,
interested.
no, I want to hear that. But we'll
Is this
get to-
our deer story?
Let's do it.
Oh.
Let's do both of them.
We're both of us.
My
right?
first turkey story,
Yeah,
first turkey
give us a
ever
turkey
was
story.
cool just because like we went to Wyoming and we
I think I've seen those pictures.
yeah and
Did
like
you with Pete
it
on
was-
that?
Pete Miller.
yeah.
So
And it was
snowing?
my first bird ever. Yeah, and we went to Wyoming
Sick.
and it was snowing that morning. And like me just being the guy that was like, I've never turkey hunted. I just want to kill my first bird. And Gary was like, dude, this is like, it's 14 degrees. It's snowing. Like it's like 3 a.m. where I'm like filming, like joking.
In my head, I'm like,
Gary's
we ain't gonna hear
this
shit,
sucks.
dude. This ain't happening.
Yeah.
I was like, this is gonna be rough.
I've been there.
Yeah.
We go to this first spot to listen, and we're all just like sitting there, and we hear like 15 turkeys gobble, and we're
Just a
like,
big old group of them.
which at the time I was like super excited.
What part of the year is this?
It was opening day.
Opening day.
It was
and-
opening day. in
So it's
Miami.
April, but we
Okay.
just got we got
April 1st or
dumped
something.
snow.
Yeah.
It's like
I
it's like
remember
April like 15th or
I
something.
remember this video.
And I was
Yeah.
like, and I was in NWTF filmed it and
Yeah.
everything, but like, and I was pumped just because I heard a bunch of birds, and I was like, oh, this is exciting. Like in my head, I was like, oh, we're gonna kill one.
This is your first ever time.
First time, yeah,
ever
first time,
going.
yeah.
Jeez.
That's
And,
awesome. What about that?
And so we hear like 15 birds on the roost, like gobbling, and I'm like, oh my god! And those birds up there, like they gobble like real funny, like they sound, yeah, like it almost sounds like
Like
a
a joke,
joke.
yeah.
Like,
Pretty
you know,
good. Pretty
It
good.
sounds like
It's very high
but it
pitched.
sounds
Yeah.
like
Pretty good,
a toy,
Reid. I'm gonna be
almost
honest.
turkey.
It sounds
You
like a
know,
Jake.
Yeah,
You
the
hear a
Jake gobble.
Mississippi turkey, and then you hear one from Wyoming. You're like,
Yeah.
what's going on here?
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're like trying to decide what to make a move, and I'm kind of looking toward Gary because he's much more experienced, and he's like, dude, like this is actually kind of an issue because you don't really know which one to chase, like
Right.
you know. And so we ended up like going down this hill, and
Well, we heard one like way off, and I was like, "That's one we need to go after."
Yeah.
He'd buy him, and once they all pitched, it was early season, so they pitched down, they
Together.
shut up,
Yeah.
and so. But then this one's gobbling over here, and I was like,
That's
"We
our
need
guy.
that's
Yeah.
our guy.
So
He's
we
alone."
head down, and we're like setting up on this tree, and it's like the most like coolest like Western thing ever. Like it's dumping snow. There's like 2 inches of
Cottonwood
snow,
trees, everything,
2
the
inches of
whole-
snow on our bills of our hats.
Sick.
There's
God.
like elk walking by,
Oh,
like in the
God.
distance. It's like, where are we at? Like it's crazy. But it ends up nothing happens, and like we get up and we start maneuvering again, and they weren't like reacting. Like once they were on the ground, they weren't like gobbling back or
It
anything.
was so early. They was like they were still flocked up. We
Yeah.
like winter flocks. They were just
They had
gobbling.
everything they need right there.
and it was really interesting. We kind of just like saw a turkey basically, and we were able to get in front, and there was like a bunch of trees, so we were able to just get in front, and then he just like headed up toward us. So like I got lucky and killed my first bird that day in the snow, which was just like
That's
insane.
awesome.
it was really cool.
That's sick, man.
And
Yeah, you got to send us some pictures. of
yeah,
that.
no, I
Yeah, it
can't.
was sick.
I will, man. It was
Miriam, I'm guessing like
Nathaniel
white
Matthews,
tip.
yeah,
dude,
the white.
That's
it
awesome.
was so cool.
That's nasty.
You know how the Merriams are. Like you gotta play their game. They'll gobble their heads off.
No
but they'll
doubt.
gobble 800 yards from you.
No doubt.
And so it's like you just gotta move to where
Go to them.
them.
Yeah.
Like if you get in their line of like where they're already decided where they're going, like it can be really fun, but they
Yeah.
can also be frustrating as hell.
For sure. My
Yeah.
Idaho.
All right, tell-
Oh, sorry.
oh,
go.
go,
No,
no,
you
no.
go. You go.
Okay, so the deer story. All right, so like we spoke of Lake Pickle earlier, and he gave me a bow. Like it was like my first bow, and
Nice. Not wasn't some. It
he
was.
gives me like a sick like Matthews bow.
Okay.
And we had like
I
done
just
some
bought
like
one.
we
I
had
was
done
like,
some like deer hunting down in Mississippi.
He's
and,
like, Gary, you got one? Yeah, you got one.
He's
All
like,
right.
what's the third? It's got the big cams. It's a bit too big for you. Would you Charlie want it? And I was like,
yeah, and
like, I hate this
And
guy.
Gary was like, I just want to shoot a deer with my bow. And I was like, let's just go kill a doe or whatever. And Gary's like, cool, I got this little spot over here. And so we go in the woods and we're just hunting off the ground. Like Gary's like, let's just chill on the ground. Like, it's just a good spot. It's
Yeah,
rut in
man.
Tennessee, and it's freezing, and it's like it's awesome. And like, I mean, we're on our knees hunting, and like my knees are like numb because I'm just like they're just like it's so cold, and you're just like on your knees. It's not comfortable.
Right.
And you're just like, okay, I hope we see stuff or whatever. And I mean, there's does walking everywhere. And like, it's like, I mean, 20 feet from us, it's just like action. So I'm like, this is already like worth the getting up.
okay, setting the scene. I don't mean to interrupt you. So it's a lease that I had, and rut. I found this like awesome deer. It's like this. It's a big ag place, but it had like this like a big strip of timber that went to a creek bottom.
Perfect.
So it's perfect setup because in the morning them thermals
Little travel corridor.
pulls all the way down. So it's like literally I just go in there with a wind checker every time I go in, ease in. And so it's like we either set like this trail is prominent. Like they'd been going through it. And so it's like, especially this time of year, and like I told Charles, like if we wait a few days, like this will be it's peak rut. Like they're everywhere. And but it's a great setup because it's this huge like 2 log jams that come together. So it's like you
just
can
pinch them in there.
Yeah.
And
you
just
can just sit here like this or on your knees or whatever.
You got cover and like
And so sorry, I need to be on the mic telling a story.
No,
but
no, that's great.
yeah, so it's so thermals, it's like literally there's setups on each side. So it's like depending on if the wind's going to the field or the back, it's like you just move.
hop around.
Yeah, you just
Yeah,
move.
that's
and so,
awesome.
Anyways.
yeah, and so we're just sitting there and we see this buck like coming in, like crashing in over here on the left, and it ironically was like the bigger buck that day.
It was nice. I had him. He's probably 145 inch.
come on.
It was like a papa. It was nice.
Yeah, he was for
And so-
Alabama boy. That's a
Yeah,
It's a hammer.
It's a hammer.
Tennessee
I mean, for
boy,
a
it's a
guy
hammer.
that's like, I mean, I've killed a couple of bucks in my life that were like really small, but you know, like whatever.
Yeah.
But it was like seeing a quality sized deer from like the 30, 40 yards. That's like, you're like, oh my God. you
our
know?
wind swirled. He picked it up. And,
Yeah, he starts blowing and so he's scared and he kind of leaves but he's like blowing his tail off, and then we hear some like crashing on the right. And I'm
I
like,
just
oh.
done a rattle sequence.
Yeah. And so another buck starts coming in on the right. And so, you know, it's like you're on the ground. There's no like good place to put your bow. So my bow's just been like sitting on the ground. I've had an arrow like on the knock, like just chilling. And
He's talking like a bow hunter.
yeah,
He
like
knows his stuff.
I pick up my bow because I'm like, okay, like I'm about to get ready. Like this thing is walking straight towards us, and we can
Right on
see
that
it's a
trail.
buck. It's like a nice little 6-point.
Oh, he's
And
thrashing through it.
yeah, he's pissed. He's trying to see what's going
Doing
on.
the thing.
And so it's like close enough. Gary's like, she's like, go ahead and draw. You know, so I'm like, okay. So picture this. I'm like full draw. Like I'm
I'm on the camera.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
Gary's-
dude, I'm about to get this
Gary was
awesome
like, I'm gonna
footage.
film this or whatever, and I'm full draw, and the buck is probably like where the door is, and like right when I get it all the way back, my arrow falls off.
The knock.
You know, I think
So
it was
it's
just
still
probably-
on the rest. It's just hanging.
Yes, it
Yeah.
fell
Yeah.
off the knock and it's just in the
Yeah, and Gary's filming, so
In
he
the
doesn't
whiskers.
see this at the time, and the deer is slowly walking closer, and I literally am like, hey.
And I look over and I
Because
see
like
that.
I couldn't just like
No.
I couldn't like decock the bow.
no.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I was like
Yeah.
I literally was like, dude, I was like, put my arrow back.
So I went,
And he reaches his hand inside my
Oh, yeah,
70-pound
baby.
bow.
Knocks it.
Inside my 70-pound bow. I swear to gosh, the buck is right in front of me. He sticks it back on the knock.
Let her eat.
And I let her eat. And it,
not
I mean,
2
it was
seconds
10
before I let go of
steps.
that, my hand went.
Really?
Yeah.
It was 10
Come on.
steps, dude. Like the craziest
Dude, that
thing
is-
ever.
Oh, that's epic.
It was insane. Like,
That's adrenaline dump right now.
That's epic.
oh, dude, it was crazy.
That's awesome.
That
man.
to me is
But that was my first bow kill.
that's the beauty of, dude.
Yeah, off his knees, just the whole.
first
yeah.
bow kill. Like,
I mean, that's what hunting does, right? Like it puts those, and you can go back. I mean,
I got chills. Like
you just
reliving
did it.
Yeah.
I mean, you just did it beautifully. But like, you could relive every second of that in your head. And how
Oh,
long
yeah.
ago was that?
I was like 2
2
years.
years.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, dude. Like that kind of stuff, it sticks with you forever.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I'm looking at these deer right here and these animals, and it's not like, look what I did. It's for me to
It's
go,
the story, yeah.
dude. It's for me to think back about that deer on the back ridge of Wayne County, and me and Dan sharing that experience, and that deer in Illinois that we hunted and lost publishing deals over, and it's just like that's the dream, man. What's it like getting to like share your passion?
Oh, it's cool.
With
Cool.
him.
Well, the irony, I'm gonna be honest, Charlie's the luckiest guy ever.
Yeah, real lucky, Charlie.
We'll go on it. We
Must
went
be
to,
nice. Must be nice to be lucky.
Yeah,
Bucks
but-
just walking
no,
by me and
I'm
stop.
starting to believe this, by the way.
like,
Everyone says that about
any
me in the
outdoor
woods.
any outdoor
yeah.
activity
Bring me,
we
buddy.
do. It's like, okay, we're gonna go hunt public on real foot, duck hunting. We're gonna shoot a 6-man
Smash
limit
'em.
if Charlie comes, and we did. He came one day. He's like, man, what
I'm starting to believe it. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, this.
Let's go
shit's
do it
easy.
again
I know,
tomorrow.
yeah,
I'm like, dude, this is easy.
So it's like,
Hey,
yeah,
y'all
I'm
always
just
say
like-
this is hard. What's the hard part?
Love this.
I'm just like, daggone. But with deer hunting, turkey hunting, but no, it's cool, man. I mean, I was kind of late to the fold on the turkey hunting stuff. I grew up deer hunting, but like, my dad didn't turkey hunt, so I didn't.
Yeah,
that was
my
kind of.
dad didn't either, so I didn't hunt
Ours
until I
didn't
met
either.
Gary.
Yeah,
Like,
and so
It was
but
kind of
now
later.
it's just like I quit them all just to do these to have. if I could have those 7 weeks of spring, I wouldn't hunt anything else. I love it that much. It's
That's
just
crazy.
Like, I mean, I know, and people think it is, but it's like that's just my thing.
That's how them Hayes boys are. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how them Hayes boys are.
It's just that Alabama, South Alabama, South Mississippi. It's like when you grow up and you can't chase. I mean, you kill 110-inch deer in Pearl River County, Mississippi, or whatever. You've done something.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause they ain't there. It's just
They're not there.
so. It's like you find. But yeah, it's just kind of the culture, and I don't know. I just kind of I just fell into that, and I don't have any hobbies. I only have 4 things I really just love to do. One of them just happens to be songwriting and playing music.
Yeah,
The
man,
other's turkey hunting.
Yeah,
And it's
man.
it's like this last deer season, I went twice. And then I went during the rut. I just went up and bummed on some public land close to y'all's neck of the woods. And I passed on this small little coal. It looked like a little 8-point.
Yeah.
Because I was 2 miles deep in there. And I full drawed on them and everything. And I was like, man, this is just going to be a hassle.
I've passed on a couple deer.
And I just drawed it back and just
the work,
Oh, look. Man.
yeah.
Especially after you
I wouldn't
kill
if
a
I was
few.
in Nebraska. If I was on a trip or something, but
heck no.
if you're in your backyard and you're at your hunting lease in Mississippi or whatever, it's
And
Yeah,
y'all,
man. Absolutely.
I remember y'all used to get on to Jameson Rogers, the 6-point killer.
6-point killer.
Yeah, dude. I'll sling one on his spike. I don't give a rip, dog.
Jameson
I've
would
done
fit
it.
good in the hunting club I'm in Mississippi, buddy.
really?
They sling them, buddy. They don't care. They don't give a
That
damn.
Mississippi, it's just outlaw.
If you got horns, buddy, they're killing.
Yeah,
they don't give a damn.
Hey, what's your favorite way to eat turkeys? What's your favorite recipe?
I mean,
What's
it's
your
hard
go-to?
not to just.
But them nuggets are pretty.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard.
man. Them little
Nuggets are
turkey
pretty
We got the Traeger, not the Traeger, the Blackstone.
Yeah.
We throw down on some hibachi a lot of times with it, and then
Fat boy loves
had this
that.
recipe my wife does. It's like a coconut oil base you put it in. It's just kind of you almost eat it almost like a soup over rice. It's got
almost like a
all your
gravy-ish
veggies.
kinda, yeah.
It has a brothy,
Yeah.
but it's like sweet broth. It's
Yeah.
kind of interesting. So it's and you can throw hot sauce on it, whatever your flavor is.
Yeah.
But it's we do that a lot, and I'll just do that. Or I eat the legs. I know
Yeah.
a lot of people just breast them, but
I'll just shred up a breast
Yeah, I'll
and
just-
taco it up. Tony.
yeah, I'll
No
do
doubt,
that.
man.
Tacos and buffalo sauce sliders.
Put
or
anything with
whatever.
some bacon around it too. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Ain't no
I mean,
doubt,
I'll just
man.
take the breast and just throw it straight on the grill too.
Same.
I
Same.
ain't
Little
scared
salt
of
and
doing
pepper and
that.
rock.
Same.
Yeah.
Man, that's making me hungry right
But them
now.
fried turkey nuggets are pretty.
Yeah, you
Like,
can't beat
it's-
them.
that's
You can't
like
beat
the
'em.
easiest.
Do the pickle juice recipe, get them the Chick-fil-A thing.
That's
if
right.
you're introducing people to wild game,
That's
turkey, especially,
it's a good segue.
Double flour them. Get
go,
them real
go to
crunchy.
Publix and get the Chick-fil-A sauce and just do
It's
it
the
up. You
safest-
know what I
That's
mean?
the safest way.
I fed my wife ribeye in the sky. She'd never had it.
Yeah.
I've never had it.
We had either.
It's good.
Buddy.
Is
She
it
told
so-
me,
is
she's
it-
like, this
it
steak's
literally
great. And I
is
was
like a
like,
steak.
you're
It's
eating I was
bizarre.
like, you're eating a bird. And she's like,
It's bizarre.
It's that much. Like
yeah, it's bizarre.
oh, it literally is. It's,
Is it the breast that you're
Yes, yes.
yeah, and
Is it marble?
it's just a dark. I wouldn't say
No,
it's
no.
like just almost like a lean steak.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like a fillet.
But it really is good. You cook it right, you can probably mess it. I
Sure.
can mess anything up, but
Yeah.
you cook it right, it's pretty good.
And I want to try that. We've been talking about it forever. We spend so much time in the deer woods.
Yeah, I get
We
it. Pick your
save-
battles, buddy.
We save everything for that time of the year. So much so that we sacrifice other seasons. We'll slip out and
It's the same with me with that. It's like, hey, dude, I'm like, if this is gonna earn me that
Felt like this
trip
the
in
best?
spring,
Yeah.
I will not go. I will not go this weekend.
Yeah.
To do that.
I'm excited, man. I'm
You're more fired up about turkey
I'm
this
fired
year than
up
I
this year
remember
for
you
some
ever being.
reason, and I've been fired up. I always get fired up, but man, honestly, it used to be. I used to be more passionate about it, but now it was comparative to dove season for me. It was just something to scratch the itch to get me in the woods
I
until
know,
deer season.
It's just that they're kind of like, hey, we go kill our turkey, and it's fun.
My turkey cup is not huge. All I need is one good goblin morning, fly down, see one strutting, see one drumming in front
That
of
sounds
me,
like me.
and see
Yeah.
one flopping, dude. And my I'm good.
So
I'm
I
good.
kill
That's
that one.
me.
I'm like, where's the next one?
That's
Let's
me
go.
to a T.
I kind of feel that way this year. I'm kind of mad that they took the limit down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I first moved. Y'all have been here longer than I have, but it's like,
Four.
yeah, you kill four.
no doubt.
It's that COVID year, man. Everybody was at the house. I mean, how
Smoker.
much y'all turkey hunting COVID?
Every day.
Same.
He even said that, like, he was like, I guarantee you they're going to change the limit after COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because like your weekend warrior who might kill one a year, he's going every day.
He got
Dang
6
right.
weeks.
You can dumb him into 4 turkeys if you hunt every day.
You put a hurting on
You
a
can
herd
sit in the
real-
same
yeah.
spot.
Especially with
you know.
Yeah, no
The
doubt.
jokers. Now they got robo decoys and all that shit.
Dang, man, y'all are awesome, dude.
it's crazy.
Y'all are awesome. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, we knew you were. I mean, this
Yeah.
is no surprise for
We
us.
appreciate
could
y'all
do
having
this
Dude, we
for
need to
a-
hang out. Like,
I
outside of
know,
this.
I know, man. I know.
We can do it
I know
off
it's
camera.
tough.
Yeah.
Yes.
And y'all are way south of town too, ain't you?
45 minutes.
See, I'm 45 the other way.
Yeah.
So.
Y'all are in Columbia?
Yeah,
So our
Spring Hill,
drummer lives
Columbia down there.
now.
Yeah.
That's a cool area.
That area's
Oh,
bumping.
Oh, it's-
y'all
it's-
got
it's-
in at a good time.
it's
That's the
smoking.
only area you can move now that you can afford in this damn town.
I know.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Nuts.
I know.
It's nuts. And even now, it's just like,
You get you a little. You got a little piece out there
A
now.
piece,
What?
yeah.
How many acres you got out there?
say afterwards.
Oh, okay. Heck yeah.
Must be nice.
You
bro.
lucky boy.
Is that the name? Is that the name of the
Yeah,
episode?
must be nice.
The name of the episode
Must be nice.
Must be nice with Muscadine
I think
Bloodline.
that's the name of the episode. Hey, we got to do Gravorite. Let's do Gravorite.
Wait, can y'all give us a little bit of 1090?
Yeah,
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, yeah.
I want to do. Let's do 1090, and then we'll do Gravorite. I want to hear top 50, right?
It is.
Breaking the top 50, man, and rocking.
right now. Yeah, man.
Oh, sorry.
We're new to the radio thing, so it's like we explain this to like our radio reps and stuff. We're like, we don't know anything about this. Is this good? And they're like, this is great. Like, this is flying. You know?
That's sick.
Yeah,
Yeah, sick. That's awesome.
Yeah.
it's cool, man.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Get him from the verse.
When the river's raging, I'll be the levee. I'll be the steady hand that's holding on to you. Well, I'll be the view, your change of scenery. Well, let me be your way out when your walls are closing in. So, darling, give me you on your worst day, and I'll give you my best. When you only got 10, I'll be at 90 that's left. So go on and run me ragged, long as you're loving all straight. Don't worry about meeting me in the middle when I'm already running your way.
Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good.
First song to radio, man.
Good for y'all, man. Congrats.
Great song.
Yeah.
Hope it does it. Should do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
me too.
whether it does or not, you've already cultivated an unbelievable career, an unbelievable story. Proud of y'all. The town is proud of y'all. Like, we know what you put into it. We know how hard the journey was, and it is sweet satisfaction to watch you reap the reward.
Ain't no doubt, man.
Yeah, man, we can feel it, man. We
Ain't no
appreciate
doubt.
it.
Yeah.
We got a lot of friends that, you know, in the business that like support us and like, dude, they're like, man, it's crazy. It's so cool to see this finally.
Yeah,
you
man.
know,
Beautiful,
so
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
it feels
Gravorite.
good.
All
It
right,
feels
let's do
good,
Gravorite.
man.
Yeah, Gravorite tune. Greatest / favorite.
You know what you're gonna do? Y'all kind of didn't know what you were gonna do.
Let me see-
I'm gonna give
let me
him
see that
this.
bad boy.
Oh, okay.
It's in drop. Let's see. Or I can move with you.
You need a
Let's
pick?
see.
I got picks.
Yeah, let me hold one.
I can't believe
Yeah, I got one.
I never have picks, but I have one. There you go. Look at there. Oh, brother's home.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you can take it home with you.
No, you can't. It's the only one. I got.
Let's see. I know you heard that worn out line about love at first sight. I never knew those words were true. You walked in tonight. All it took was just one look to knock me off my feet. Well, I'm not a man of many words, so I'll make this short and sweet. Could you, would you, ain't you gonna? If I ask you, would you wanna be my baby tonight? Yeah, take a chance, slow dance, make a little romance. Honey, it'll be alright. Girl, you got me wishing we were hugging and a kissing and a holding each other tight. So could you, would you, ain't you gonna? If I ask you, would you wanna be my baby tonight? Yeah.
Undefeated.
Muscadine Bloodline.
I heard that
man.
4 part in
Yeah,
there.
I was trying to get up there.
He's like, where can I get in
I was
on
trying to
this?
get up on
When you
there.
got a band that sings harmony, you got to pick a different one.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Hey, man, Dude, y'all are crushers, man. Y'all are killers. Y'all are awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Dude, thanks for having us, man.
That was a lot of fun.
man.
Of course.
Yeah, that was a lot of
We
fun.
went an hour and a half. I could have gone 3.5.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
how it feels after like every podcast. I'm like, oh man, it's over.
Yeah, I know. That was a lot of fun.
Y'all
Come back.
are.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
been
dude.
cool though to see like kind of like you said, like last time we did this, the growth.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Sick.
cool. Like the MeatEater network, like the whole nine, man.
Yeah, well, thank
it's
you.
really
Cool,
awesome.
Thank you.
Every weekend and week out, I'm like, dang, dude, they're getting some. They want to have us. They got some really cool people out here.
I know, man. It's
Y'all are
crazy.
really cool.
It's
Y'all
crazy
are
to see how
killer.
it's all just given to y'all, man. You know, like you
Yeah.
just didn't have to
Yeah,
earn it.
We're
It's just
lucky.
like,
Yeah.
you know,
We're lucky.
yeah, dude.
Silver platter, man.
You know what
Overnight
they say,
success
man.
story,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
Must be nice.
Yeah, must be
Hey,
Must
thanks
be
for hanging
nice.
out, God's Country, with us. Y'all boys are awesome. Thanks for chilling with us.
Must be nice bloodline.
Hey,
Yeah, must be nice.
and What Was Left Behind coming out April 11th. That song you just heard, not that one, but the one before, 1090's out now on the radio. Y'all request it, spin it, love it,
Support these boys.
Spin it,
support them.
love
man.
it,
That's
love
right.
it.
That's
Love
right.
it, love it.
Merch.
That's right. Thanks for hanging out, God's Country. Peace.